West, y'all.
Hey man, welcome to the pod, sir. Wow, feels like it's been a minute, but you were here just in the shop this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, did you get the cut?
Yeah, every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Yeah,
You got other ones a week, guys.
Yeah, have to.
How long have you been doing that for? Like once a week? Has he been coming once every week?
Since he came back.
Oh, from where?
From a different barber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout outs to Genesis, eh?
No, Genesis, yeah.
Shout out to our La Genesis. I met him through one of the boys. Yeah, one of my boys I connected from school. And then, I must have given him a cut. And then he asked, oh, who's that you got?
I was like, oh, do you know Litty?
Yeah.
How do you know?
They're trying to do those battle ones, eh?
Yes.
Nah, the one who comes out of his garage. Nah, I know him. How do you know him? Oh, come on.
How long have you known him? Longer?
But you just go way back, eh?
Yeah, since primary. Yeah, I've known him since primary.
Mm.
But I think I've been getting a cut from Litty since my dad used to take me.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I was in...
Would have been primary or?
Just finishing primary into intermediate.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
Yo, 39 now? No, jokes.
Yeah, 42? No.
I'm still getting the once a week cuts, man.
Have to.
Wow. I remember seeing that on maybe it's on a movie or something.
Nobody got asked him why you getting there every week.
Oh yeah, where you getting it? Like,
I have to look
I've
up.
met anyone that I've seen it in the movie somewhere. Someone said they're gonna get a cut every week.
Yeah.
And I
I used
thought,
to
oh
do
yeah,
it-
that must be African American
Yeah.
thing, because of their hair.
Right,
like,
right.
Always like,
I don't know. It's like my hair's used to it now. So to the point where, like, after a week, my fade's gone. I was like, I can't have this. I can't have this.
gotta keep the fades.
Yeah. Look in the mirror. I was like, man, you look ugly. I need a cut.
But if you see the revolution of this guy's hairstyles, man, you wouldn't believe it's two different kids, man. Because I always knew that when I first met this kid, like he came in, was this for Uncle Ray? Yeah, for
Uncle
Ray.
Ray.
To my Queensland, New South Wales guy, the one who always banters, the one we had banter is his uncle.
Oh
And
yeah.
He left Western, he ended up out Mangry. But it was his conversation that got, my brother just lives off the road. Oh, tell him to come with his son. And that's where that connection started. And then, his old man would bring him in. And I always said to him, bro, man, you should just grow your hair, man. Like, do you watch NBA? Like, all the guys on it, like the Steph Curry cut sort of thing.
Yeah.
You should get a taper, bro. Your hair will look bloody. But,
I used to have a boldy.
Yeah.
It was just
Oh, you did?
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I had a boldy the whole time. And then, because every time I grew it, it was just an afro. Didn't have curls.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, I look stupid. So I was like, shave bald. I used to look like a Swiss with the little line in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, nah, I got to change it.
But I knew you, man, you'd see the light eventually.
100%.
This guy's hair is very soft, man.
I remember when I was a kid, like it was my mum that cut my hair all through primary school years. Then I can't remember when my first fade was, maybe intermediate or I think it might have been Form 1 or Form 2. But I remember it was a big deal because it was like, like the first time getting a proper fade, with hair clippers, because I never seen them hair clippers before.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's always scissors. And hair clippers was like a new kind of, never. And then, man, I remember just feeling that feeling when you finish getting your haircut and you just look good in the mirror, and you're just like, because you're young and you don't even know, like going to school and you think you're the man.
After a couple of weeks, it's like, oh.
Put your hat on and your beanie back on it.
But then I remember some people having baldies at school.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for some reason I thought I wouldn't suit it, so I wouldn't never ever get one.
Yeah. So you just grow it.
Even it was like was it a zero fade with not even number 4 or number 3 on top or number 2. It was just grow your hair long on top. For some reason. But then I was playing around with like one fade and zero fade, just not knowing which one is better.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I know I always stuck to zero fade, but I never did the zero, like what I get now is zero fade and 2 on top.
Yeah.
But I never ever got that like back in the days. Like always have to have hair on top, like long hair on top, sort of thing. Yeah. But nah, man. I couldn't do the once a week because I think my hair didn't grow that long too fast.
Oh right.
Yeah.
This guy when he started coming back, he saw. I think I was doing, sort of like the afro on top, skin fade the sides. So he saw his mate's one, asked, and he came back. But then he asked, bro, you want to try taper on me? I had been wanting to do a taper on him ever since he left, but he still hadn't. Oh no! So I just gotta
I said Bodie
on the top.
Yeah.
As soon as he got that tapers, bro, I knew he was gonna fall in love with the cut because, like, bro, it's just what it does for your hair, and when it grows back too, and if you want to keep it fresh, then gradually we just started going shorter and shorter and shorter, higher, and then I said to him, bro, let's do a shape. He settles his hair out, it'll be like this, man. And then once he wets it, it just shrinks, but it's that tightness and the natural coil. Like you don't have to put any product in, and it's like, hey, you rock your hair like that.
How did you know to do that?
Oh, because that's what you see when
The
you
shape
watch
shape of his hair.
the African American, the barbers in the States. That's how they style. But sometimes they just go comb. But I know, like, if you shape an afro and you let it shrink naturally, and it stays like that after you get out of the shower, yeah, that's your hair. That's naturally your hair.
You know if someone comes and sits on your barber chair and say they want a zero fade, but they don't tell you high or low, can you know what their head shape suits, high or low? Or
Yeah,
do they
if
have to
it's a
say
new
it?
person, yeah, you know, like you ask them. If it's a guy, I always ask them, do you have any battle wounds at the back of your head? Like,
Oh yeah.
because sometimes the hair can cover those.
Yeah.
And then when you get shorter, like we get from a 3 to a 0, he can see, just where your hair is. It looks like a natural
wear a
bald
beanie?
spot, eh?
Yeah.
But like, nah, Zion's hair is like, man, it's like the gym. It's the gym because I get a lot of kids now. They play b-ball and they come in, and I can see the curl. Like the curl for someone with straight hair comes in after like maybe a month and a half without cutting the top. So that's if you got straight hair. But with kids that have got the curly hair, like they must be like half Tongan or half, Fijian. When they start seeing their curls, it's like they need to see his hair to get an engagement of like what your hair can look like if you grow out the top.
Have a look.
No, not that. Well, I'm only wearing a hat because I ran out of my conditioner. Got a conditioner.
Yeah, but if you see it, then you'll be like, man, that's like, look at what the hair can do.
Because I remember when I got a haircut ages ago when I was a kid. The guy that cut my hair was saying, "Man, I like that straight hair, like because I got straight hair."
Oh yeah.
And it was like, it's easy to cut or something. Hey, it's easy to cut it.
Yeah, unless you got Korean straight hair, it's like goes against the grain. So it's only,
But now when I was at school, it was like fades or undercuts. That was the two main hairstyles. But yeah.
Mine was the lines. Everyone had lines. Different. There's different patterns.
yeah.
Some people had a star. Really wanted a star.
Yeah.
Wasn't allowed to get a star, so it's a line.
That's your mate in Australia, Lance.
Yeah,
He
that's what Lance the king.
does all those the tattoo haircuts. See,
Yeah.
like, but they were real cool. Way like whatever team you're into, he'll draw it.
Yeah, I think he got famous off a Tupac and a Bruce Lee he done. Yeah, Snoop Dogg, he's done all those. And then at one point he was doing all the NRL. He started doing, while he was in Brisbane, he started doing the Bronco.
Yeah.
To patrol the horse on the back of kids' heads. Then I think people try to test them, see like, oh, this guy Billos, because people start stitching up your photos. Because that's always telling me, bro, initially your photos. And then when he started doing it, then actually doing the same on like multiple kids, it's like, that's why he's the man. He ran away, boy, yeah.
Just repetition, all that kind of stuff.
Man, yeah.
Is anyone doing that here? Like there's
Well, there's probably guys here doing it, but no one on his level. Yeah, because that's sort of his background, the graffiti and the art. He just happened to pick up the clippers by accident.
Yeah. Because I remember back in the days, in the 90s, first guys I saw with pictures on their haircuts was the players on the New York Knicks.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name. He passed away. Something Anthony Mason. Yeah.
Anthony Mason.
Yeah, there's Knicks on his haircut. But yeah, man.
I gotta share a story about this guy because I'll get you to share it. So I had one of my closest mates. I had Tim on the chair this morning. and we caught up.
Oh, sometime.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, because he's like Saya's one of my VIPs. If he asks for a time, I'm gonna allocate that time for him. So like, I might advertise 9 to 11, but I know before that I got guys that want to come before that. And so I'll leave the 6 o'clock to 8 for these guys, because like even if I'm halfway through a cut and he walks in, but he always books ahead. Like, not many guys can book ahead, but not many guys come in every week. So I was just telling Tim, like, just this guy, meeting him as a kid, like, and that's what the shop's done for me. Is like, when I met people, and then over the years, because he's dropped a gem on me, and he said something like, "Oh man, appreciate you." Like, we say thanks for the cut. But he said something to me like, "Bro, the friendship thing dropped pretty much the week I walked in. Bro, we're pretty much family." And so, like, when you hear that from a customer like that, and that's enriching, and like, to me, that sticks with me forever. So he was like, now at that point, like, if this guy asks for a spot, bro, it's his anyways. I had no, reservation to give it to anyone else. But like this morning, so I've had the same sort of people come through the shop, and one of the boys, he's like, I consider family. He asked for his hour, and so I asked if he could come earlier. But then the guy messaged me, and in the same hour, he wasn't gonna make it. So it was like, see, because I've pushed the VIP back, to come in early, for so-called family, and then they go and do that. So I'm like, bro, that's your spot every week, bro. Like, anyone else that want to come, bro, you miss out. Like, it goes to show you, like, that's what families do to you sometimes, eh?
Yeah, it's a thing, eh? Like, people change times and all that. Like, they book a time, something might come up. Not just kind of here, but anything, eh?
Yeah.
Like, you just book a time and they last minute, oh no, I can't make it for some reason.
And it means nothing to them.
Yeah, or they don't understand that the person on the other end, like, has to push everything else around to schedule you and that, and don't know how much disruption they cause there.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying to Letty, I was like, to us, the clients, we don't really, doesn't mean anything at the time. But I think for Letty, it's like, time is money. So he just loses out on a certain amount of money. Even though if someone just like, oh, I had something going on, it could have filled with something else.
Yeah.
That's why, like, bro, this morning I wake up late. So my appointment was like 6:45. I was sleeping and I was just like, I heard the birds chirping. I was like, shit. Looked at the time, I was like 6:40. I was like, oh. Yeah. I was like, oh, Letty be there quick. And I just boosted it. I was like, because I know this is Letty's sign, this is Letty's money. So I was like, I ain't trying to waste.
Because how far away from
Oh, like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But he's always on, Saya's always on time day, but, Saya brings breakfast, man. Before I told Brilliant, man, I'm not allowed to eat pies in the morning anymore. But, like, that's how considerate he is. Like, he thinks about it. Like, he knows. But some other guys, like, they just play on it, they're just playing on. But, like, if I set the clock for, like, 6:40, like, 6:15, the 15-minute wait is different. Like, if my 7 didn't show up, whereas, like, if he didn't show up, it was he cancelled on at his actual appointment. 15 minutes is not a long time to wait for the 7 o'clock. But it's when the 7 o'clock, he books the whole hour. That means however long size haircut takes, then I'm pretty much waiting till 8:30 for the next one, Which is, that's the thing that's like, oh, well, this is what's on social media.
Man, I remember when I didn't care about getting haircuts anymore. Like, took me, I think, my 30s.
30s?
My mid-30s.
Yeah.
Started not caring about haircuts. Like, just let it go, or fuck it, just get a baldy, who cares?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, but there's a reason why this guy comes every week. Apart from being fresh, but like, to me, it's like, if you come every week, you're always on, your game's always on. With this guy, because he's in love, man. That's why.
It's not because of that. Because of myself.
Nah, but where you better have self-confidence, and it's also like that. That's your routine, no?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That because I'm sort of used to a routine every week, and getting a haircut every Saturday. Yeah. That's my Saturday.
Yeah, I think when I said that for me, because I got sort of like married. I got married, so who cares about my routine anymore? I'm like, I'm in my. I'm not single anymore. Like, who cares?
Nah, I get the queer eye, man. Like, is everything alright, right? Did I do something wrong?
Oh, you don't want to do anything now?
Sorry.
Now you're taken. You don't want to look after yourself. Oh. Now, Thanks for coming in there because when Lydia was telling me about you, like the thing that opened up, like got me interested was you were into architecture.
Oh yeah.
And you
yeah.
actually went around and doing that, eh? Like,
Yeah.
so you did the full 5 years?
Yeah. So I finished high school. I pretty much wanted to do architecture, so I did all the subjects that I needed to do to get into architecture.
Oh, was this when you were at school?
Yeah, in high school.
At what school did you go to?
So I went to Rutherford.
Oh, yeah.
The best high school.
And how did you know to do architecture in that time?
I think so first I wanted to do I wanted to be a zookeeper.
Oh, hey.
Because I
Okay,
just like
how
animals.
did you get to the zoo?
So my whole idea was like I just like animals.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, I want to be a zookeeper. Told my granddad. He was like, change it. I was like, okay, alrighty.
What if you said that? Change it.
Oh, he just said I was stupid. I was like, sweet. This is an old school granddad. So I was like, okay, sweet. And then, but I'm really creative. So I like designing, like drawing.
Oh, yeah.
So I got into like building, art design, and also graphics. And then that's where I found my love in graphics. Then my graphics teacher sort of introduced architecture because I didn't even know what it was. I just thought building was the buildings. You didn't need anyone to design anything. And then, yeah. So like whoever does the plans is the builder. Don't need anyone from anyone else.
Yeah.
And then, but I didn't know that. And then I found out architecture, looked into it, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Don't know yet if I want to go uni, but if I do, then this will probably be it. And because I knew like everything I needed to do in architecture, you didn't need to read. You didn't need like English. So I was like, okay, sweet. I got this. It's more just drawing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, sweet. So long story short, I got into Unitech. But I actually failed level 3. I failed level 3 with like 7 credits. So I had to repeat 3 or 4 papers just to get in. But at that time, they were still going through my grades. So I didn't even know if I was in Unitech. So my mate, he was doing the same thing, but he's smart. He's those ones it's like, oh, did you study? Nah, I got this. So on the day, he just does the answers. Excellent. I'm studying like months before and then achieved or just passed. So he got into architecture and he told me when they had the orientation day. So I was like, okay, sweet, I'm just going to go. So I finished the papers, but that I had to repeat, but I didn't know if I got the grades yet. So I was still waiting. So I was like, okay, sweet, I'm just going to go to orientation. Went to orientation, saw the lecturers, and they're like, okay, sweet, we have a list of all the students. We'll put you in your classes. I was like, okay, sweet.
Oh, so you got in?
No, so I was waiting for my name. My name never came out. I was like, oh, no, I'm in. I know I'm in. I think they're probably waiting for my grades. They're like, oh, okay, sweet. So I just lied. And then I just went to the classes, started doing the first assignments. I was like, okay, sweet. And then I think 2 weeks in, I just got confirmed from a high school teacher saying, oh, no, you passed.
Oh.
I was like, oh.
So why were they late?
Bro, I don't know. They said they were just, they had to go through my grades, go through what I was writing, and sort of just go through with, I think, the assignments I was doing, they had to get approval from another teacher as well. So I think they were waiting for that.
So was this test or grades from high school?
Yeah.
To get you in?
So I finished level 3. We had our graduation, everything. And then the year after they do this thing where the year 12s going to year 13 has to go to the teachers and see if they can get into the courses, like if it's like calculus or whatever. So they said, you failed. I was like, okay. They said, you have to go to that day and talk to your tutors. And this was 2 weeks before my orientation.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to the teachers and they're like, okay, sweet. You try and do this assignment, repeat this assignment and this. So I had 3 assignments.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I had three assignments to repeat. And then once I repeated it and finished, I sent it in. It was the day before my orientation.
Oh,
so
right.
that's why I was waiting.
You're just waiting, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just spamming them, didn't reply. So I was like, okay. If they're going to kick me out from uni, I might as well just go.
So I think that's all, because you come to class not knowing.
Yeah.
You go, oh man, this guy's keen anyway. So
Right.
we'll let them just roll with it.
I was just, please, I know I'm in here. Don't kick me out, please. And so, yeah, and got in. So after that, I did 4 years bachelor's, got my bachelor's, and then I did part-time master's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
Finished in 16, started 17, and then I dropped out last year.
Oh.
Yeah. So Yeah, I dropped out of masters. I was doing part-time masters, and this was sort of during COVID.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but during my bachelor stage and then going into masters, I was dealing with like self-worth, like sort of. I was always stressed and sort of depression, and so it was.
Was that because of the pressure of
I think it was
school?
even from high school. I never thought I was good enough. So even trying to get into uni, I was just like I didn't have any expectations of actually getting into uni. I'm just a person who like if someone says you can't, if someone tells me I can't or you can't do it, I say okay, sweet. Let me just prove you wrong. So even from primary all the way up to high school, I've always had like every single year had a teacher or a student who always says I can't do it. So I was like, okay, sweet. Let me just
Teachers?
Yeah. So I had teachers in intermediate. So I was at a point where, when I went to intermediate, it was when you had one teacher for every subject, but now it's like you have different subjects for different teachers. So I had one teacher for year 7 and another teacher for year 8, and it was my year 8 teacher, and he's the one who. So I was a naughty kid, and then I think I was doing something dumb, and then to the point where the teacher says, "Oh, I'm going to have a meeting with you and your parents." I was like, "Okay, sweet." I knew the teacher didn't like me. He always picked on the islanders, so I was like, "Okay, sweet, all good." I was like, "What is he going to do? He's not going to hit me." So he brought mum and dad in, and I was just one to have my head down, but I was listening to everything I was saying, and he's pretty much just said, like looking at my mum and dad and saying, "He's going to be a bum. He's going to be a dropout. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it in high school. He's just a loser." I was like, oh, okay. And so it was just like feeding those words constantly, and it was just like, obviously people think words isn't big or can't do damage, but at that point I was just like, bro, this is killing me.
You held on to that, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Like I remember you sharing that story, and I shared that this morning with Tim as
yeah.
well, because
Yeah.
I knew you were going to be on. Like I think just as our dad standing behind the chair and hearing you say that to the mirror, like fuck yeah, that was pulling on my heartstrings, because I couldn't imagine, like, especially for mum and dad to show up and hear that,
Yeah.
Like, hearing that about your kid and your kid sitting right there, like it wouldn't have gone down well, Because how was mum and dad's reaction?
They were mad, but
Yeah, you or
nah, the teacher.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like everything I did to get to that point. It just meant nothing. It was just the words that they were speaking over their son. My dad. I looked at my dad. I was like, "Is this man gonna go to prison or something? Is he gonna do
for
something?"
saying what he's saying?
Yeah, because back then my dad was like, "This is my son. You talk to him, I'm gonna fussy you." So I was looking at him, praying he doesn't do anything. But I just saw them. I think it was anger, but also like just I think brokenness, because just hearing that someone's speaking all this negative things over their child, I was just like, man. So they were pissed, and then, but I think knowing them, they had the common sense not to sort of do anything, obviously because it's the teacher. But I think because they just pretty much just said, "Oh, it's alright, son. Don't listen to them. You know your worth," kind of thing. Just go to school, be better. Don't do any dumb stuff. But I was telling Letty, it was like all the way up to even uni, I had that same memory. Like that memory is vivid. Like it feels like it was yesterday.
When you, like, man, in my head, like, even when you're like, man, I got this favorite Jeep, I'm like, so they remember the teacher? Like, I just chuck it in
Okay.
there. Remember the teacher was.
Yeah.
So was that the turning point in your thinking about what this teacher was saying to you in
Yeah,
front of your
I
parents and thinking, oh, fuck this dude, I'm gonna show him.
Yeah, it was that. I think it was like a build up of a lot of things. It was just like not really knowing who I am, having that teacher, and also like being bullied. So I used to be bullied when I was little. Like I was like short, bold, black. I had braces. I had everything you could tease someone about. I just had everything. I was like, so I'll get bullied all the time, and I think it was just, I just wasn't happy. But I'm a person who I'm like the class clown, so I sort of hid behind that. So I would use my humor to sort of mask what I'm actually feeling. But if everyone's laughing, then I was like, oh, okay, sweet. And no one knows that I'm actually hurting. Because at the time it was like, if you cry, you're soft. Or if you have any type of weakness, then you're a little girl, or you're not good enough. So I had that mentality, and because I don't have any brothers, but all my friends and all my other cousins, they're all tough, tough. So I looked at them, I was like, "Nah, they're tough, I'm tough." But deep down, I was like, I'm just crying. I was just like, right.
But you gotta share the back end of their story, because obviously that was the almost like the drive in that little voice, like the dangling carrot. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's the guy who said that you were gonna amount to nothing. Eh?
But it seems like that drive, that stories, you hear that story quite often.
Yeah.
When people say, even when you see like athletes on TV, they say, "Oh man, I remember when I was young, they told me I can't do it.
Yeah.
Look where I am now."
Right.
Like that's the same kind of thing. I'm just wondering if this teacher, what this teacher meant by what he's saying. Like if he's saying it because he's racist, or he just doesn't like you, or if he knows that this is a thing where. But it's if he did it on purpose to get something out of you. That's a 50-50 chance, eh?
What, the chance of getting a honey from the dad?
Well, just like say if this is a thing that happens all the time, you always hear it, that people hear something that get told earlier on in their life that they can't do it, that motivates them, that drives them. Like you hear that story all the time. So I don't know if this teacher knew that story, that maybe I'm gonna get something out, or if I say something really bad to this guy, negative, it's gonna get something out of him to do the opposite what I say.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know, because back then that teacher was always known for, he's the bad teacher. Yeah. He's the one who, like, no one likes him. He doesn't like nobody. So I think that could be a chance. But I think at that time, he was just like so mad to a point where I'm just going to say, I'm just going to shit on this kid and let me just like make this kid cry. But I think it was just a build-up of a lot of things. Like it was that, and then also that was a time where it was just so when I was little, I was also sexually abused at that time. So that was the same year where it was like that was going on. I was getting bullied, and then my teacher, and that whole build-up, it was just like, yeah, I'm just like, who am I? Like I didn't even know who I was. So even then, going into high school, I still had that same mentality, even though I was like getting like bigger, getting more like no one's bullying me anymore. I still had that idea in the head, like you're still nothing, you're still going to be a dropout. So going into high school, I was always battling through my self-worth, and then going into uni, that was the same mentality, like because everyone just, no one really, I was never prepared properly to experience uni. So it was always like, you do this, and that's your answer. But in high school, in uni, it's just like, you do this, tell me the answer. I was like, oh, okay.
In your own words.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then, but my mate that I went to, I've known him since primary. We've been to every school together, even to uni. And he's always been the smartest. So I just like, sort of just followed whatever he did. To the point where like first year and second year, I struggled. I was like hard as, I was like barely scraping.
The first year of uni?
Yeah, first and second. So with bachelors, you have bachelor for 3 years, and the first 2 years was the hardest. And it was just like, my mentality was C's get degrees. It was if I get a C minus, bro, I'm happy. Me and the boys, we can go get drinks, we can go out, we can do whatever, just as long as I pass that, all good. And I think something switched, because like my third year, which I knew everyone said it was the hardest, I think something switched. I was just like, nah, you actually have this. Like, you're on your third year. Even though you didn't want to have the grades that you wanted to, you're still there. So I was like, okay, sweet. I ended up getting like, all my papers was like A pluses, A's, B's. It was no C's. It was just like, nah, I can actually do this. So looking back, it was just like, the first 2 years were meant to be the easiest, and the last year was meant to be the hardest. But for me, it switched.
Right.
Yeah, so it was just like, man, I actually can do this. But finishing uni, finishing my bachelor's, my tutors pretty much said, if you don't do your master's, what you did in bachelor's is pretty much nothing. I was like, what? Because all I wanted to do was bachelor. I didn't want to do master's. I just wanted to do bachelor's, get a job, make money, and that's it. But they pretty much just said, at the same level as where I am now, as the same level as someone from high school applying for a job as an architect, I'll be on the same level. And I was like, pretty much just shit on my whole third year where I thought it was mean, and pretty much just said, literally just means nothing if you don't do your masters.
They changed the criteria a few years ago. I think 2010, 2009, when they first put that what's called the, when anyone could apply for building consent.
Yeah.
Anyone could do it back then, but now they put a law in. You have to have a certificate. You have to have I forgot the name of it. You have to have a license.
Right. Yeah.
I forgot the name because builders have license. All these licenses come out, and I think there's a design license that you need to have to apply for building consent. So I think architects can get it automatically.
Yeah.
But during that time, it was the Bachelor of Architecture, and that was it.
Yeah.
5 years, and that's it. You go.
So it was.
But now they introduced the masters, which is the last year of the bachelors.
Yeah. But that's
really
like 2 years. Yeah, that's the extra 2 years. Yeah. It's like what? Yeah. And then after that, it was like a doctorate. If you want the title,
you don't need the doctorate, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't even planning to get a doctorate, but yeah. So finishing bachelors, I was just happy, but didn't really want to do masters. But everyone just said, "Oh, you've come so far." So I'm just like, "Oh yeah, okay, sweet, I'll do masters." But
you did the part time.
Yeah, but I did masters part time. So bachelors I did full time, and then masters was when I did part time. So I was just like, "Oh no, I'd rather spread it out in another 3 years, and then sort of work at the same time." So I did my first year, and I was sort of looking for a job, but at the time I was working at Plant Barn. So I was working at Plant Barn from like Friday and Saturdays, only 2 days. The rest of the week I was at uni, and then so I was working there, and then the first year was easy. So I finished that, which was mean, and then at the end of that first year, I was at Plant Barn, and then this guy comes in, and he comes into work, and then I recognized him. I was like, bro, I know him from somewhere. I was like, where have I seen him before? He's an old man, really old, long white beard. I was like, man, can't forget his face. So he walks around, does the shopping, and he comes to the checkout, and I was the checkout operator. And I was the teacher from intermediate. And
the same guy?
Yeah, the same teacher. So I was just like, in my head, I said, if I ever, cause I knew in my head, I was like, I'm probably never going to see him. But if I ever see him, I'm actually going to knock him out. I was like, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm actually
angry. Why? Yeah.
I was like, I'm not angry, guys. But I was just like, I'm actually going to hit him. Cause like,
yeah, but it's funny now because he's going to see you at Plant Barn.
Yeah. And with my bright yellow t-shirt, I was like, man, I actually look like an idiot. so he came to check out, and then I was just doing it. Then he's talking to me, and I was like, oh, do you remember me? He goes, oh, no, should I? I said, oh, you were my teacher at year 8. And he was like, was I? I was like, yeah.
But what's bubbling through your head when you're asking him?
In my head, I was like, you better remember me. I was just like, man, I actually want to just hit him. And then he goes, oh yeah, I'm actually retired. I'm retired from the as a teacher. I'm just with my wife, and that's what stopped me from hitting him. But his wife was there too, so I was like, and also my boss was like around somewhere, so I was like, oh, okay, sweet. So let me just chill. I said, oh yeah, I'm at. He says, what do you do? So I said, oh, I'm just on my on my first year of masters for architecture. He goes, really? Man, that's so good. I'm proud of you. I was like, shit. Why'd you say those? Why'd you say those words? And then once he said, I'm proud of you, I just felt like all this relief, all this like weight on my shoulders just like sort of just disappeared. And I was just like so happy. Yeah. I was like, man, thank you. It was good, so good seeing you. Have a good day. He goes, I'm proud of you. Keep going. And then I was like, man, that's crazy. And then he walked off, and then I looked back, and he looked at his wife, and he says, hey, you know that guy? I was his teacher. He's doing masters. But I was like, I held on to this anger for like 10 years, just like so mad. And then to the point where it was just like, all I needed was him to say, I'm proud of you. And I'm just like, man, I sort of like put myself down for so long. Just one guy just sort of talking shit about me. I'm just like, nah. So I'm just at a point now where anyone who says I can't, or you suck, or you're useless, I'm just like, okay, sweet. Let me show you. Let me just make you eat your words, kind of thing. So I use that so like what you were saying before, I actually use that as fuel now, but it's taken me so long to sort of use that, have that mentality to sort of like use that negativity and turn into a positive. And then Yeah, but it's just been like so even at uni, I've had a teacher or a student just put me down, stop me from getting into a class because they think I'm dumb or they think I'm naughty. I'm just like, okay, sweet. Have the idea of me. Let me just show you off all my grades, or let me just show you off my design. So yeah, it's just had that mentality.
And it's interesting to see if that teacher, like who else he said that to. If he said that thing to you when you were young, in front of your parents, I wonder how many kids he's actually said that to as well.
Right, yeah.
And what happened to them.
Right.
If they grew up to have the same thinking you have, and
Yeah.
I'll show that guy.
Yeah, but I don't know, because like at that age, you don't know anything. Like you're still learning. Like then I was so innocent. I was just like, listen to mum and dad. That's all I knew. Like if I hang out with my friends, I have to ask mum and dad. like all we used to plan out was, oh, you keen to go to the mall? I was like, oh, when we have half day, you want to go to the movies? Had no money for the movies, but we'll go to the arcade. But now it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
That's a cool way.
You want something to carry for so long.
Yeah.
But I think the whole story is cool. But it goes to show it's the same story a lot of people have, I think. Because he's probably told his wife too. You know, remember I was a mean teacher back in the day? That's why.
But I remember when Saya told me, like, oh man, if I see that guy, I'm gonna break him in half. Like,
I'm big now.
Man, say it to me now.
Yeah,
but then when he said, so I guess you came into work, I was like, wow.
Man, I remember my high school because I went to White Tech. So we had a teacher at White Tech that was like, he was the enforcer kind of teacher.
Yeah.
But always the one taking people's hats or wrong shoes or you know, always telling people off or walking around in between periods to find people wagging. And he's the guy that always, you know, everyone hates.
Yeah.
And you think he's only picking on the islanders, you know, because, you know, all that kind of stuff. But his name is Mr. Poland. So I'm sure, man, I got heaps of caps taken off me from that guy. Oh, you know, so he's the most hated teacher in this whole school. But I think every school has to have that guy, the teacher that has to be the enforcer, like to make the kids scared of him, so they don't play up and all that. You know, but we always play up. But I think every school has that. But this guy, he was mean. And everybody hated him. I think in his class, his office had all the gears.
Oh,
you know,
really?
everybody, he's taking all the gears, you know, and he's the one giving out all the punishments and that. But I remember my last year at seventh form, we had this careers day, and I actually didn't know what I wanted to do, and we all went to careers day, and he actually helped me that day. He actually helped me, and I remember that. And I thought, man, I thought you were an asshole, you know, like, but he actually helped the kids during the careers day. Yeah, that showed up to careers day because you didn't have to show up.
Yeah, it was optional.
Yeah, so I think he was thinking, oh yeah, well, any kids that come here, they're the right kids.
Yeah. You passed.
That'll be good.
Yes, damn, I was gonna beat that kid up on this last day.
That was crack up. But me, I ended up doing that too. I ended up doing architecture as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Unitech.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But so what's your plan now? Because you know how you did the part time and you dropped out. That doesn't mean you can finish it later on in life. Because you can. Because it's like, because I didn't finish either, and it took me 10 years.
Yeah.
Because you know when I told you that all those laws changed. Yeah, I was not qualified up until then because I graduated 2001. Yeah. Then got my job. Right. Up to 2010, I wasn't even qualified, but I was working for my boss all that time. When they changed the law, my boss said, "Oh, you have to go back and finish your thing."
Finish it. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I did. So I did my bachelor's on my master's, and I'm on my second year. So when I split my master's, it's meant to be 1 full year, and then your last year your thesis. So what they did, they just split my first year into 2 years. Then my thesis would just be 1 whole year. So I was on my second year, and that was during that was beginning of COVID. So I was going through like lockdown, having like Zoom classes at home, doing that, and I was like, yeah, that was alright. But it was weird because that was the year when I wasn't really into architecture. I couldn't really explain it. It was just like every year I knew I had a holiday, but back to uni and just steaming on and just had that passion kind of thing.
Can we
But-
talk about like the period between lockdown? Because I don't think people realize, and I like on Empty Out the Clip, our other pod, I like to make people try and remember.
Yeah.
Because like lockdown for students was like foreign, eh? Not only just Unitech, pretty much tertiary, primary, and intermediate high school. Because like the PTSD that's come out on the other side of what happened, and like, you know, a lot of us that were just working, like I'm a essential worker, I could work. Camden, he's pretty much set up to work from home, but other people, like, can you remember any of like that feeling? Because I remember like, bro, like your routine now, eh? That you're back into your daily routine,
Right.
and that's week in, week out. But to have all of that robbed, eh? Because of the lockdown.
Yeah. Because I like routine, like what Letty was saying. So, because of lockdown, my routine changed. It was wake up late, half-ass Zoom class while I'm watching a movie, eat anything, take a shit, eat again, sleep. And that was the same thing. I was those ones who's paranoid. It's like, if you go outside to get groceries, don't talk to me. Go have a shower, go clean yourself. Just leave me alone. But I hated it, eh? I actually hated it. That was a point where I got like really big. Like I just gained so much weight.
Was it like any time about the COVID, actually catching COVID? You know how we had to do the social distancing?
Yeah.
And you was with a mask and all that. So were you conscious on all that?
Yeah.
During that time?
100%. Yeah. I was those ones like, you coughing? Test. Did you sneeze? Oh, you can take a test. But I was so paranoid. But like my mum and dad and my sister, they were so chill. They got their COVID and walking around. I was like, what is going on?
But in your mind, like, because like when they said, "Oh, COVID's this thing," right?
Yeah.
You need a social distance, you need to sanitize your hands. It's not airborne, but it's past person to person. Like when they were saying all of that, because I know the way you would remember it, because you said you were putting on weight. But like, did you believe in it? Like the way that they were painting it to be?
No, it was the first few weeks. Oh, this is a holiday. Where I'm just enjoying not being at uni. Once I kicked in, I was like, bro, this is actually serious. And then I think it actually kicked in when I actually got COVID for the first time. And once I got it, I was like, oh, this is actually real. This is not fake or anything. Bro, I don't know. I hated being at home. I'm always someone who like being outside, or just having that option of being outside, but having that stripped away, and their social life being out. I was just like, I actually hated being at home, seeing the same three people. Everyone's like pissing me off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just being confined at home, not having the opportunity to choose to go out, choose to do whatever. I think they had a massive toll.
It's not easy, eh?
Nah.
Because, man, it was easy for me because I loved it, eh? Stay home.
Oh,
Yeah, work from home, but like you said, have the movie next to you.
Right.
So that was cool.
Must be nice.
And I remember because they recommended doing a walk around the block, for exercise and that. So I did that. Man, there was a time when I walked around my block.
Yeah.
I wasn't living here, I was living somewhere else, but I was walking around the block. Man, I swear I walked past like
Hundreds of people.
10 or 12 like people arguing in their homes.
Oh,
Oh,
Like
wow.
couples arguing, like swearing.
really?
Like, I was thinking, man, and I was, because all that mental health things started coming out on the news, like, well, we need to watch out for that kind of thing. And I was thinking, man, you're right, man, because man, some of these couples, man, have to be home.
See the same people. No
Like,
break.
No break, man. Like,
Because I remember it vividly, man. But like when you even when you're telling me what your weight was before they allowed us to get back into the gyms.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you, Sully, you hide that weight well, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. Hey, when you were telling me, okay,
I just stress eat it. I think that's
you
why.
don't look that heavy, man. Shut up, man. You're like, you make a 2 weeks out really good in that way. Like, shucks.
I hated it. It was just that was my escape. It was just eating whatever, and it was just like I was just constantly eating. And because I have a sweet tooth, I love lollies. So it was just like I would have like 3 or 4 packets of the big packets, and I just eat and eat, and I was just like still be hungry. That was my escape. But I gained up to 140 kgs, and then I was just like, but I didn't realize. So I was just like eating, I was just chilling, eating, and that was my routine. It was just like wake up, watch a movie, eat, take a shit, and then go back home. I'll go sleep, and then repeat the same thing. So I'd look forward to eating the lollies to the point where I was just like, bro, this is too much. I had a stack. It was so I had like, I think it was like I had a queen size bed, and I had a little bucket, and there'll be my lollies, so I wouldn't have to get up. So I'll just lie down. I'll lie down, one hand like this, watch the movie. I'll just be like this. And once the packet finished, I had a rubbish bin on my left side. Throw it down, next packet. And I was just constantly eating. And then mum and dad would just, when they go grocery shopping, I was like, oh, can you just buy me some lollies? But I already had some, so I just stacked up my stash, and then I just kept eating and eating. And I was like, holy, bro. Too big.
What I love about when you came and got your first cut, because I think we had just gotten into the low, we were just starting off at low tapers, and we started getting high tapers. And I remember you just having this energy, like, man, I need to start working out, like, I want to start lifting there. Because that's your art, that's your love now, with powerlifting.
Yeah. So it was like you were asking, what am I doing now? So I actually dropped out of uni because I just lost that passion, lost that sort of that love that I used to have. And like when it came to architecture, I was like, bro, I actually hate being at uni. Like I hate this, hated it, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this.
What was it about it that you hated?
I think it was everything. It was like the assignments I had to do, the like being paired up with like other people. It was what I was saying, Letty. It was like everywhere I went, I was never really there. So I would like, so say if this is a podcast, if I was still at uni, I'll be talking to you guys, but I'll be thinking about my assignments or thinking about when's my next assignment, or like I have to do this last night.
So it became more of a distraction, right?
Yeah, it became like a chore. It was never a passion, and it was always a passion up to the point where it was my second year of masters, and I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do this. And I actually got a job as a graduate architect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for a company. So we were working with like.
Who was that?
Working for Trowel. Yeah, so that was that company, and which was all good, but it was just sitting there on a desk and just typing or like designing on the computer. For some people it's all good, but for me, I love being active. So like I was like,
were you using AutoCAD or
Revit? Yeah. But they were trying to teach me how to do CAD. At Unitech, they were always taught me Revit, but I would like do designing from like Photoshop, InDesign, all that kind of stuff. I could edit everything, but it was just Revit.
It's pretty much an office job until you go out on site to site meetings and that.
But in my head, it was, I think I had the idea of just like, it was just site. Or like when I'll do a quick design and then I'll be working with it, like co-working with the builders. But they're like, no, this is your desk. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, sweet. So the first week.
Then you should be a project manager if you want to do that, because they get the on-site stuff now.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. So it was like the whole time, like being at uni, as all goes, being on the desk, because I'm designing what I want to do. But being at work is like design what we're telling you to do. Or like when I do a design, they're like, oh, no, change it. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I was working, I was like, okay, so let me just rip this up. But I was, so I worked at Trial for, I think, 3 or 4 months. And then it was like in between, I think the 6-month period where they, like the temporary, so they could fire me or whatever kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I was working, and that was the last lockdown. I think the last lockdown was like, I think 2022, end of 2022. Oh no, 2021, sorry. Yeah.
Around October.
Yeah. So that's when I got the job, and then we went into lockdown. They're like, okay, so all good, we'll give you your laptop, everything, you still do your designs, you're not going anywhere. I was like, okay, sweet. Doing my designs at home, still stress eating, doing my uni work as well. And then it was, I think, end of November. Oh no, sorry, it was mid-November. I get a call from one of the bosses, who's actually a family friend that grew up with my family. It was like just on a call. He was like, hey bro, due to COVID, we got to let you go, but we got to let you and the design team. So it was like, but there's only 2 of us, but that person's been there for ages. But they're like, yeah, we're going to let you go. I was like, what? I was like, bro, you literally just said all this stuff, all this talk, and then yeah, we're going to let you go, but we can't pay you out until you give us all your designs. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, bro, I was like, you pretty much just like.
They said they can't pay you out
until I give them my designs.
The computers and
they're like, oh, I was like, oh, good, you can take the computer. It's not mine anyway, so you can have it. They're like, oh yeah, and all your designs, and then all the designs I was doing for my clients.
See why you're saying that? That's a time in New Zealand history. Like that's why, like, this is good that he was doing that. There's a time in New Zealand history. Guys like yourself, and then guys who refuse to get vaccinated, got let go over that shit because the government gave them the power to do it. Because no one was ever challenging it, eh?
Yeah, and the excuse was just like, oh yeah, we're not getting enough money, so we're just gonna let you go.
But no one even like had department like come out and investigate whether any of that stuff was true.
Right.
Because when people started applying for like the fund, like for the what's it called, the COVID fund, where they could get paid so they could stay home, or like people either got paid in a lump sum, or they got asked to take the computers home.
Yeah.
And you work 2 of those days, and we'll log in every so often.
Yeah, because I was
part of that crowd. They got let go.
Yeah, because I wasn't even getting paid from them. I was getting paid for the government because that was part of the COVID. So they were in like I don't know. I didn't really know how it worked, but they pretty much said, yeah, we've already applied for the government fund for the COVID thing. You're gonna get paid. Just do your designs at home. I was like, okay, sweet. So for however long the lockdown was gonna be, I thought, oh yeah, I'm set. And then, but once they said they're not gonna let you go, take all your stuff, I was just like, bro, I don't want to do this. And I think in the back of my head, even though I was doing my designs, didn't really want to do it. It was just like
something you had to do.
Yeah, it was just like again, it was just a chore. So leaving that, I had no job, and then I was just like digging a deeper hole for like depression, stress. I'm just like, bro, I have a partner. I want to buy some stuff, but I literally have nothing. I have no money, and so I'm just like, oh, bro. So I felt sorry for myself one day. Then the next day, my partner was like, just apply for anything. So I was like, okay, sweet. So I had like trade me jobs, seek jobs. And it was like, I was so desperate. I was just like, apply. And I didn't even know what jobs I got. And then one guy replied back. They said, oh, we saw your CV. We're interested. Would you be keen to come in for an interview? And it was like the week after. I was like, okay, sweet. Have a look. And then, long story short, got the job, started the job on the 26th of November, still working there. And so I actually work for Herbal House, which is like more like hydroponics.
I thought it was a drug dealer. Carry on.
This camera's around. Yeah, so it's a hydroponic company. We just sell like ventilation kits, grow kits, lights, everything. So I work there. I'm actually I don't know how they say it, but it was like a co-manager of a distribution team doing that. My boss opened up another company called Gym Junkie. So we sell gym racks, plates, bars, everything you want in a gym for a home gym. And also we opened up a gym in Hepburn, and that's like a boxing gym. So working on that. And even though I said my love was architecture, I've always been passionate on lifting, and it was like more specifically powerlifting. And then that's become my passion. So I like all that story, but it was so I dropped out of uni, and now my passion is powerlifting. So I want to be able to compete. I want to be able to like get a coach and sort of see where it takes me. So I like trying to create content, posting videos, getting my name out, and just doing something that I love. But it's not even that. It's just that motivation, like that's always been there, even like going up to high school and even uni. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now, is like just working nonstop. I wake up 3 a.m, go to the gym, and that's what I was saying, that routine. And so I wake up 3 a.m, go to the gym, I lift, I do my program, and then I'll go work. I do like 10 to 11 hours at work, and then just chill after that. But it's just that routine. And then getting a haircut from Letty. Yeah. that's my routine every Saturday.
Did this passion for powerlifting come up when you first worked at that place, and your boss was getting into that gym junkie stuff? And
I think it was.
Or was it way before that?
I think it was It was in uni. It was once. It was like I was single. I was fit. I couldn't do anything, so I was like, oh, let me just try and do lifting. And then that sort of sparked a little flame, but I didn't realize. So I was just like playing around at the Unitech gym when it was still open. I was just like lifting there. Didn't really have a program. There's ones who were like trying to hit a PB every single day. So it wrecked my back. So I was doing that. And then coming into end of my bachelor's into master's, I was like more interested, trying to create another routine. And then I think I just fell in love with it after I lost my job. I gained so much weight, and it was beginning of last year. I was just like, nah, yeah, this is what I want to do. So the whole of last year was just losing weight, trying to feel good, be happy, and sort of just have that their self-worth kind of thing. So the whole last year I was able to lose 30 kgs and just gain more strength and muscle, and then just trying to build off that. Yeah.
Because it was 140, you said?
Yeah, 140. Yeah, I
You're
was
the
140.
heaviest?
So now I'm 110.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just maintaining that.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest negative was being unhappy, doing architecture and also at the job. I was just so unhappy to the point where I was just like bring back into media again. It was just like, because I'm the class clown, let me just make everyone laugh wherever I went, just to pretend like I was happy. But deep down I was just like so unhappy. And then having that uni, those classes, it was just like building even more unhappiness. And it's funny because so my parents, they created organizations that we used to do missions. So we used to do mission work where I've been to like Thailand, India, Philippines, Fiji, all those different places. And the one thing I always not preached, but just like told the youth was just like, don't do something that people are telling you to do, but do something that you're happy or that makes you happy. And I'm just like, how am I going to go every single year telling all these kids to do something that they're happy about when I'm literally doing the opposite? So I'm just like, nah. But telling mom and dad that I wanted to drop out of uni,
How did they take it?
they were mad. No one wanted me to, like, no one. But the only excuse or the only reason why they wanted me to do it was they're like, oh, you've come so far. And you've come so far. And that was the reason why I did masters, was everyone just saying, oh, you've done so much. And bachelors, you've come so far. Why don't you just keep going? But I came to the point where it's just like, that reason isn't enough. It's like I'm literally risking my happiness just because I've come so far.
Preach, son.
So I'm just like, let me just start walking what I actually preach or what I actually talk about.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm just so happy right now. Like,
There you are. It was like,
Yeah.
I've seen Saya when he reckons he was 145. He looked like he was 110 at the time. But like, it wasn't until you showed me like your creative like videos, and then it resonated back to me like, fuck yeah, that is him. Like you hide it under your baggy clothes really well, man. But then even when you come in a singlet, then you get a haircut, and you're just doing your lap around the chair, going like this. I'm like, fuck, king olele, man. Like, it shows the hard work that you've put in, just to be happy too, man.
it's just, happiness has always been a second. It was always been something that I was like, oh yeah, I am happy. Money makes me happy. So I always went for architecture because I knew architecture was like high pay, even though that was never my drive. My always drive was just being able to help other people. That was actually the main reason why I wanted to do architecture. Not just because I like designing, but I was just like, if I'm going to keep doing missions before COVID, if I'm going to continue going missions, they always say, oh, it's not what you can offer, it's what you like, just being available. But I just feel like, nah, I'm still growing. Let me just try and help them in what I'm good at. So that's what I wanted to do. But now I feel like God's put me in a position where I'm just like, architecture isn't the only thing that I can actually offer. And I think God's sort of given me a platform where I can just talk and just using my voice and using my journey to where I was to where I am now to just tell people, and then not just tell them, but to actually just show them through my actions kind of thing.
I remember one time, I think he went to Fiji. I think when you got back, and I remember your dad telling me the story too. Like he had taken you out to the shacks, and when you guys actually saw, like, these are how people live. And he said that you went back to the room, back to the nice air-conditioned suite, and he said you guys just pulled your eyes out because that was reality. And your dad was just keep saying, this is why you got to appreciate everything that you have when we come on these trips, so you can see this is reality for a lot of people. Like, this is what we think might be, someone going to clean that up. Someone actually lives there. But I remember one point you said to me, I'd love to become an architect to be able to be in a position to go back and build cheap architectural, like, stable little shacks for people in those places. Like, man, that was rich. Like, I thought, man, shucks, this guy's walking it, But I mean, at the end of the day, so your happiness, your state of mind is what really, it needs to be there. Because I feel like the lockdown did it real bad for a lot of kids, but I especially saw it on you too. Like, I could see, like, when I'd give you like that smile, the grin, mirror, one side of the mirror to the other. But I know post-lockdown, it wasn't as bright, Because I was like, and it wasn't until we shared, And that's when I was like, let's record, man. Like, we gotta unpack it, sort of thing, And I'm glad you have, because, see that smile now, it's like, the man's alive.
It's not fake.
That whole thing about you said about find happiness first, because, man, people say life is short, but when it comes to working, man, life is long. When it comes to working, and like you gotta actually
long hours.
It's long, man, and you gotta actually like try to figure out. I think kids have to try and figure out what they really want to do at school, so they can go towards that thing that they love and do. And sometimes it fails in a way where, like yourself, you go through uni and you're in the middle of uni and you think, oh, nah, maybe this is not what I want to do. I don't know. It was like, this is, but it's too late.
Yeah, bro, 6 years.
It's too late because 3 years, 3 years deep. But then it's like, when you come out of uni, if you go to uni straight from school and you come out of it like when you're 20, 22, 23, 25, that's still young.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
right.
It's still young. I mean, that's enough time to figure out what you really want to do, what you love, and pursue that way. But then, I think people get caught up in paying bills and caught up in, I need money because my friends have money and I need to catch up to them, and I need, you see stuff on and you want that and you want this and want that, and so I think people get caught up in that. So then they just do any job because they need the money to get that stuff. Right. And the next minute, years go by and you're trapped because that's the only thing you know to do, but you're not happy. Yeah. And I think that's the trap, I think.
Yeah. Do you know whose model it is, though? It's the Balangi models. It's a Balangi model. My dad's a drain layer. Yeah. Go do your papers and go to trade school, you be a drain layer. Before they've even become a drain layer. The best model that I've heard that's come through the shop was a guy, his daughter's, what is she? She's a case manager for SIFs. So she did a placement, like he said to her, before you go and get this so-called loan and do whatever, go and do the work. Go and ask, see if they got positions in that field. Go and fill those roles, those low-paying entry-level in those jobs. When you think you love it, then go and get your education behind it. Go and get upskilled, because maybe they might have an internship where they go, you can still be employed, and we'll gradually give you the qualifications over the time. That's been the best model that I've ever heard that's come through the shop, because when I meet the people, man, they love their jobs. And like just hearing some people like talk about uni, even when I'm hearing my daughter talk about uni, she's like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I'm not going to waste the year. I just, I'm already deep. So I'm like, maybe that model I should have told her about it.
Because it was funny, because I was talking to my auntie this morning at the breakfast. She was saying her son's hella young, so uni's not even in the picture right now. But she was like, oh yeah. I said, oh, what does he want to do? She was like, yeah, go uni. And I was like, oh, okay. But I think at a young age, I think everyone always says uni, you have to go uni to success. I think the idea of success is uni. But I was like, no. I was like,
well, I think the idea should be what you want to be.
Exactly.
And go towards that.
Exactly.
Whatever that is. What's going to take to get you there?
Yeah.
Does uni get you there? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Go there then.
Yeah, if it
doesn't, well, don't go somewhere else where it gets you there, wherever that place may be.
But I think a lot of people, they just think uni, you have to, like, success, you have to go there. Like, whatever you want to do, you have to go uni.
Even if it's by default, it shouldn't be by default anymore. Because say you don't know what you want to do and you just want to go to uni just in case I'll find out what I want to do then. I mean, that's not a good
There's
investment because
yeah,
you're
100%.
wasting time.
Yeah.
You know, like how about just go and see the world or go do stuff?
Exactly, yeah. Because a lot of people they come to me when I was still at uni. They were like, "Well, what's an advice you can give to tell my daughter or my son to go uni?" I was like, "Don't put this on me." I was like, the only advice I can say is like, if they're passionate, or if this is something that they want to do, or if this makes them happy, and uni is the lane they have to do, then do that.
Yeah. If
If
you want to
it's
be a
not-
But
doctor,
it's the happy thing. I think Sister Mary Clarence on was it Sister X said it the best.
Sister.
If all you can do is wake up and dream and think about it, and that's all you can do is dream being a singer, then you're born to be a singer.
100%.
But like with the happiness card, it's like, well, you ain't gonna know until you try it,
Yeah.
and live it. You
Yeah.
gotta live and breathe it.
that's a good point. Because I reckon kids already know what they want to be. They know what they're good at,
Yeah.
and they know what they love, right?
Well, secretly do not to your face, like already, like I did it as a kid. My mom was like, "What are you gonna be?" And I'm gonna be a firefighter. She's like, "No, you're gonna be a doctor." Okay, not even I'm gonna be a barber. She's not.
Psych.
Yeah, that's my fallback plan.
But it's like you when you were at school, you knew you were good at art and you like art, right? So
Yeah.
you're good at art.
Right. Yeah.
So you want to pursue something that's got to do with that,
yeah.
you know?
But even my parents, they're like, "Nah, you're going uni." yeah. Like even my sister, they were saying, "No, you're going uni. You're going uni." I think it's just that mentality, like not being sad, but it's like the older generation, they sort of have their ideas like their success is once you go finish school, uni, find a partner, married, kids. That's it.
But
I
is
was
that
like-
big in your family though overall? Like the people that have come through uni, like all your first cousins end up going to uni.
No. So I'm actually the first on both sides to actually go uni. Or not to go uni, but to graduate from uni. But I think with my cousins, the idea is just get money. I think because they've been embedded, the idea is like have a partner, have a family. That's your success.
That's another thing. The money side of things is, you know how our parents wanted us to go to uni all the time, uni. Is the end result to be a doctor or a lawyer or accountant or teacher, or is it just about the money? Because I think it's just about the money.
I think it's.
I've heard
I
it
think
mixed, man.
Mix.
Yeah, I've heard mixed because my parents are like, "Shh, I don't feel for me," but it was more like my mum used to say like, "Go and be a doctor or somewhere in the health sector, so you can look after your family."
Like they give.
I'm a
back.
level 3 first aider. Like, when shit hits the fan, bro, 90% of the time you want me to be right there. Because, like, every other first aider I'm around, they're like, fucking Gaia, bro. Like, you were like, we were Wayne Brown when that happened. But, like, I've heard, like, my dad, like, said to me, like, if you're not happy doing what you're doing, don't do it. That's on you. It's a choice, It's a choice whether you choose to be unhappy and bitch and moan about your job. Or you simply go find a job that makes you happy,
If it is about the money, then this day and age, then you can make money a lot more ways than you could back then.
Yeah.
Like,
So
and
much.
you can make money playing games,
Yeah. There's so many
Online
people.
gaming even.
Or even like just streaming, like all the people streaming, making content. It's like, bro, I want to do that too. That's actually what I want to do.
If it's about the money, then man, you don't have to go to uni to make money now.
100%. Yeah.
You don't have to go to business school to start a business. You know?
I was like, look at all the billionaires. None of them went to school. None of them went to uni.
I reckon the most funniest one I've heard is like if you want to go and start off on the back foot, like which is the person referred to uni, and be in like 20,000 before you've even stepped foot in the work industry, go to uni.
Yeah.
But if you want to make money, bro, go buy a pack of 60 of those jolly drinks. Go
And
stand
sell
at the
it.
flea market and make
Sell
double
it.
what you or triple
Exactly.
what you paid
Yeah.
for it.
Like, bro,
It's like so
my student loan is high.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, oh, gee. I wish I knew what I knew now back then, like before I even started. But I think the journey I went through to get to where I am now, I'm just like happy. I'm glad I went through what I went through, just so I can just tell one person. Like if I can help one person, I'm a happy man.
And that's why I can never think to someone that's gone through the journey you went through to come out of uni and quit it and do something else. That it's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. It's never a waste of time.
No.
Because how would you know How would you know if you wouldn't go through it?
100%, bro.
You know, you wouldn't be here today if you stayed doing architecture,
Yeah,
and,
100%.
and you'll be
I'll
working
probably still be a plumber.
or something like that. You know, it's like you gotta go through shit to know shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like I don't regret going uni. Like I've made so many friends, met so many people, been through so much. I was like, nah, I would have missed all of that if I didn't go uni. And so even though it's like $60,000 loan, I think I don't regret it.
Man, I remember when I paid off my loan, my last, because the accountant in our firm came down. Like, okay, oh, congratulations! For your next pay, your loan's finished. That's your last.
Oh,
And she was like, congratulations, and oh man, fuck, I was like being like 15 years,
man, it's just
just
like
paying it off, and like
every payslip I see how much goes to my loan. I was like, I need to do more hours the next week.
man, I was happy. But then when the next pay come, it wasn't that much. 'Cause I wasn't paid much anyway, so. But still, it was good to get off my back,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, exactly.
But I remember back those days when I was at uni, that because it was different, because you can allowed to get any money you want.
Right.
So you get the loan for your course fees.
Right.
Plus, you can ask for loans for your allowance.
Hey.
So then they give you 10K a year. Yeah.
What's a payback or?
Yeah, you gotta pay back.
Yeah.
But it's there for you for free
Yeah.
if you want it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because like now is like we only got, when I was at uni, it was you got the 1,000 for like course related costs, and then you had this thing
Oh,
where
we get that too.
yeah, course related costs.
And the allowance.
Yeah, and then it was like it was student allowance, and then
But did you have to pay back the student allowance?
so the first 2 years I did, and then the rest of the years, I had this thing where if your parents' combined income is less than 70K, you're eligible to get like free money. So I was like, oh, okay, sweet. So my parents, so they're teacher aides now, but they left their other jobs. So before that, I wasn't eligible. So now I am. I was like, okay, sweet. So I was getting like $300 a week, and didn't have to pay back. But every time I failed a paper, when I had to redo it, it was just like another 5K, another 7K. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
far out.
Bro, when I was young in the uni, like, man, I had the mentality when fuck it, I'm gonna pay it back anyway when I work. I wouldn't see it, it was part of my tax, I wouldn't see it, so who cares?
Yeah.
I'll just spend it. Bro, because those days you could ring up and ask for it, and they'll just put it straight in your account.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, you got 10K in your whole year.
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh yeah, can you put it all in my
Put it all in.
put it all in, and then man, when you're that age, you
Yeah,
you should be like investing in it or
Oh,
putting it
yeah.
away or buying a car or to help, or
But really?
but really, man, I just partied it all,
Funny all
bought
of that.
clothes and that.
I would have studied
That was that free money.
Man,
If I knew that, man, I would have told a few of my other boys to let's go buy a house with this.
Because it was like, all my mates are like, oh, how much is your loan? I was like, oh, I don't know. They're like, oh, 20, 30. I was like, how do you check it? They're like, oh, just go on this website. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. It's probably not that high. Saw it was like 40K. I was like, whoa. I was like, can I not use this money now? Can you stop this?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
but I think when Helen Clark came, she she took away all the interest.
Oh, right,
So
right,
I
right.
think 15K got taken out.
Yeah.
Mm.
But even they do the first year uni for free, but they started that the year after I already started uni.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Could have had a free year. I was like, man.
So what's your advice for people who for now, if they're trying to figure out what they want to do with their life or at a job that they hate? What would you say?
I think the best advice I could say is probably just do something that you love, do something that you're happy about, and don't follow what other people tell you to do. I think a lot of my years, I always put happiness in the backseat, but now happiness is always at the front. Obviously God first, but if my happiness isn't there, I'm not going to do it. So that'll probably be my
And
best
that's a
advice.
simple thing, eh?
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, what you said about just do what you're happy doing.
Yeah,
It's so simple,
yeah.
but a lot of people don't, eh?
Yeah, 100%. But it's like saying like do what you love, being happy is just, it's not. I think people take it differently. People might be like, oh yeah, that means I can just chill, I can just play games all the time because I'm happy. I was like, nah, you still got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You still got to like there's always going to be obstacles.
Or have a goal, eh?
Yeah, exactly. It was always having like not long-term goals, but sort of like short-term goals that sort of push me. So having that short-term goals and having that sort of that team behind you, that's sort of pushing you. Even like, bro, there's some days where I just don't want to wake up to go gym, and then Dad will just wake me up because he's used to that routine as well. So he'll just hit me. He was like, "Get up, you got gym." I was like, "Oh, okay, sweet." But it's just having the like little things. It's like just get up. Or I think everyone thinks you don't have to do anything to be happy, but I think you still got to put in that work. Like doing what you love and what you're happy about, you still got to do or put in that work kind of thing. Yeah.
Because, from that time when you decided you want to lose your weight, you're 140 and you lost 30 kg, like that was a good exercise for you to realize from getting to A to B, eh? Like,
But mind you,
your goals, eh?
Yeah, but at that time, bro, I was heavy. I was like so big, and I'll get teased at work. The only way I actually started this journey was they gave me a goal. They said, you have 6 months to get abs, and they said, "No, you can't do it. You're 140." I said, "I can do it." I said,
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Obviously, you can't do it, but obviously as hard as like you actually can't do it. But I was like, "No, I actually do it. I can do it." It was just because no one thought I could do it, so I was like, "Okay, sweet." Just the same as that high school interview. I was like, "Okay, let me show you."
Were you thinking about that at that time? The high school teacher?
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, sweet." Just added on to it's like another person who thinks I can't do it. And probably there was like one person at work who always just says, "Oh, you're just a fat cat. Oh, you just look at this fatty. Look at this fat."
I literally just saw the lady get, "Are you sure?" Check with all of his head is the
Right.
back.
Yeah, and it was like you just had to have 4-pack that's visible, and you get, I think it was like a K. I was like, "Okay, sweet." So started that working out, and then that started the passion, and that started like to the point where I got abs, like only a 2-pack, but it was to the point where I didn't even care about the money anymore. I was like, "Man, I love this," and then that started my journey. So it was like, I think it was like Feb 2022 last year, and that was when I started my journey, and that was when I was like, "Oh nah, I got this."
What happened in 6 months? Where were you at 6 months?
6 months, I got 2 abs, and then it was just like a flat.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Bro, I don't care. I'm like so skinny, like not so skinny." I was like, "I've lost so much weight," and then I have like on my phone, I have a folder, not to show people, but it's just like, this is a folder that I have that's like at my biggest, and I was like, "This is my goal. I'm never gonna look like this ever again." But then it's not just like, no disrespect for anyone who's big, but it's like, it's the mentality that I had, the stress, the depression, the unhappiness I had at that weight. I was like, I'm never gonna be there again. So now every single day I make the most of it. So I try to go gym every single day. I take every opportunity that comes to me. If I can, like this podcast, Letty's always been asking me to come. I'm just like, "Oh yeah." But I'm just like, nah, this is an opportunity for me to actually, if I can just impact one person or just even tell my story. I was like, "Man, that's another opportunity I got." I think I try and take every opportunity now just to even show people. I was like, nah, look at me. Not to be like that cocky guy, or not post videos to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so strong," or "I lift so much." It's not like, nah, this is what I used to be. It's like, nah, look at where I used to be and look at where I am now. And it's more of a reminder for me, because like when I look at my photos, that's the first photo that pops up, and I was like, "Man, nah, I can't be like that." And then it's just like my happiness impacts other people. Like with my family, they even say, like, "Man, you're so happy now." I was like, "What do you mean? I was always happy." And like, "Nah, you're different now." I was like, "That's what I want."
Yeah.
Just like little things. Like I don't want people. I don't like go out of my way to make people be like, "Oh yeah, you're different." I was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna be who I am. Just be happy." And then that impact, like that ripple effect, is just like let people see what you've done, kind of thing. Yeah.
Wow. When you started, did we get into the eating straight away? The healthy eating and stuff?
Nah, so that was the hardest thing. So lifting is easy. Lifting's always been there. And being heavier is actually easier, lifting heavier weight. That's the eating. So it was just like, so what I usually do, or what I tell people, I just say, just do little steps. A lot of people try and do a diet. I never call it a diet, because a diet always has an ending. I was like, nah, because a diet is always going to be like, "Oh, I'm just doing a 12-week challenge. After the 12 week, we are there, That's just back to the normal. So I say, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So if you want to do this, just do little steps. So first thing is like, what do you have for breakfast? If it's like cereal with hella sugar, it's like, okay, sweet, maybe no sugar, have less sugar. Just like the little steps. I think that was one thing that helped me. So now I go gym early in the morning. I don't fasted, and I only have a protein shake in the morning, and then I don't eat until lunch. And lunch is like just a can of tuna, rice. If I want a snack, a banana, apple, or muesli bar, and then big dinner, and then just repeat that. But I tell people not to like sort of strict themselves to the point where they hate it. So the weekends, I just eat whatever I want. Like I got a pack of lollies in my car. I was eating when I was coming here. So I said, you still have to live your life. Like if me and my partner, we go, our favorite restaurant is Powder in Botany, Korean barbecue. I get everything. But in the week, Monday to Friday, because I'm always at work, I was like, yeah, this is where you try and be strict. Just have less eat there, have like a healthy snack there. It's just like little things that a lot of people they're always thinking, oh no, I'm just going to have salad. Let me just be a rabbit and just have like lettuce and carrot the whole time. Like, no, you can have so much better stuff. It's just like changing little habits.
For dinner, is it usually just meat and veg?
I'll have like 250 grams of rice, but because I'm lazy, I'll just have the microwavable rice, 2-minute rice, get chicken, or I used to have stir-fried beef. So it's already cut up at the supermarket. You just buy it, put it in the pan, put any sauce, any herbs you want to do, and then I try and do as many veggies as I can. So I get frozen veggies. I like the chunky ones. Put it in the pot, as many as I want, and then just eat that. And then I'll just mix it up. It'll be the same meal, but I'll eat it, I'll cook it differently. So one day it'll be like stir-fry rice. That's the same meat. I'll just cut the meat finer or cut the meat thicker. It's just like I have that, or I have like a roast. I'll have a roast. Just like changing it up, but it's just the same food. But it's just, I think it's just a mentality. I think a lot, like my cousin, he's trying to lose weight, and he's lost so much weight, but he gets sick of it. I was like, nah, it's just change little things here and there. He started doing that. It's like, man, it's easy, because it looks different. So your mind just looks at it as like, oh, this is a different meal, and you just eat that. Yeah. But yeah, it's just one advice is just do little things, just little steps.
I like the tuna and rice.
Right, tuna. I hate seafood. Man. That's the thing. I hate seafood.
Really?
Yeah. And then my partner was just like, "Oh, just try and try tuna," and it was just like the flavor one. So now I have the sweet Thai chili, and that's my favorite. I have that brown rice, and then I have like a muesli bar or a banana, and that's my day. Yeah. Oh, and a Monster. Gotta have a Monster.
So the first maybe month of your new diet or new food eating, and you were saying take little steps. What were you cutting out first?
So it was breakfast. So I would usually have I'll have 6 to 8 eggs, fried with toast, Nutella, banana, everything, and I'll have that every single day. So now it went from, instead of 6 to 8, it was just 4 eggs on toast, just that, no other stuff. Or if I'm lazy, it'll just be, I'll buy a sandwich and a banana, or I'll always have the same food, but just lessen the quantity. And then once I get used to that, then I lessen it even more, and then lessen it even more. Just changing little things. But that was when I started. So once my body got used to the breakfast, and then I was like, okay, sweet. So I used to go to the bakery and get those. It was like the cheese and ham bun, but some of the bakery had they cut it open and they have a little sandwich in it. I knew it was bad, but I was like, oh, this is healthy. Here's a tomato, slice of tomato. So I eat that. So I was like, okay, see, I change that. So I started doing microwavable rice and chicken. I was like, okay, sweet, have that. And then when I got sick of that, I was like, okay, sweet, have tuna. But still the same quantity. And then now I was like, okay, sweet, I'm used to the big bag of rice. Let me just try and do a cup of rice, can of tuna. Got used to that, and that's when I started losing weight.
Oh, yeah.
Being on that calorie deficit.
Yeah.
But it's just eating less of the amount that you usually do.
And do that every time, every week.
It's just listen, a little.
He's motivating me, bro. I'm looking at the February, August, August.
But it's just, there's a little thing. So a lot of people, they're like, okay, sweet, diet. I'm gonna diet for 6 weeks. They post all their what they're doing every single day, And after the 6 weeks, they drop. But I think it's just their mentality of looking forward to the ending. All my mates who did their challenge, they're like, oh, I can't wait for the 12 weeks to end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then after 12 weeks, donuts.
Back to normal.
Yeah, pies. I was like,
That's the danger of those week challenges.
Exactly.
Eh?
But I'm just like, no, you can still have that food, but prioritize it for the weekend. And then Monday to Friday, just have little things.
I like your idea for the weekend because that gives you 2 cheat days.
Bro, exactly. Yeah.
Can you live with that? We're gonna have 2 cheat days. We're gonna jump on this.
But honestly,
I want to make sure.
like, bro, even if you go to a supermarket,
bro,
supermarket, you see a bar Snickers, bro. I'll 100% get a Snickers if I go to a supermarket. I don't care. Like, but like, it's just little steps. Like, we still have a life, it's still living. So it's just like, if you're gonna constantly eat, like, it's like have no breakfast, can of tuna, chicken rice, no cheat meals, no snacks. Bro, you're gonna hate it. You're actually gonna hate it. Yeah, and that was the thing that I learned straight away. I was just like, I'm actually gonna hate it. So if I'm gonna actually prove these guys that I can actually get abs, I gotta make this enjoyable. So if I'm gonna make it enjoyable, sorry about that. If I'm gonna enjoy it, I'd rather do something that's gonna make it last longer. So
did you get advice for the diet, or did you pick it up on your own? Or?
I was just looking on YouTube, and
it
was just like, look at all these big guys. They were eating they were having pizzas, they were having burgers when they went out. I was like, how the hell are they gonna get that? But they looked like they're ripped, shredded. I was like, nah, we can eat that, but it's just like sort of just changing the little steps.
Yeah, because it's like. When you see the big food, like when you go to Valentine's or something back in the days, and you just pack your plate up with a mountain.
Yeah,
that's
so
all.
Even that,
so
I would split it. So even having a mountain, it'll be like, I'll have, instead of having 1 big meal or 2 big plates, I'll like subsidize it for like 4 small plates or 4 decent plates. And so you don't get so full.
Are you letting loose, man? Bro, now that he's here, it's the proof, man. Like. The timing, because he's an architect, but that's his life, and he's on the thing. I'm ready to get out of this place. For you to come in and sit on the puddles, and now you're talking about the health journey and the weight loss. I'm like, fuck, come August, bro. I wanna do this. Like, I'm ready to go, right? Because I can, like everything you're saying is bang on, like it's the small changes, right?
Yeah, honestly, it's just the small
changes. But it's
changes.
not gonna happen overnight. That's one of those. You gotta play the long game.
You have to be disciplined.
You made me think, about when you saw the YouTube of these muscly guys eating burgers and that. And I see that too when I go on YouTube, on your social media. When it comes up, you see all these bodybuilder dudes eating junk food.
Yeah,
but it might be just that one thing in the whole week when they're eating healthy.
Yeah. But there's some guys that I watch, and they have day in the life of what they do, and every single day they'll have a snack, or they'll have like a pizza. If they go out with the boys, they're always gonna have bad food. But it's just a lot of people. I wouldn't call it bad food. It's just food that, like, if I'm gonna go out, I ain't trying to count my calories. I'm gonna be like, take my little weigh machine. Can you just put the pasta on the weight? Let me just weigh it. I just feel like if you're gonna go out, just have less of something else. Just changing little things here and there.
I used to work with the Samoan guy, and man, he was always king of the lay, straight from the islands. He was tight, man, always had abs, shoulders, pecs for days. He's a PT now. He had real poor English. Now he's become a PT, but his initial position was warehousing. But seeing him now, like, and the confidence in himself. But what he used to always say to us, like when someone was walking around with the gout, and he goes, you know what you have to do also? Once you eat that urupua, come away around the block. That's what you got to do, man. Come away extra bit longer, work it off, burn it off. If you don't burn it off, you're going to get the gout or something,
Yeah, because just lifting, like, us islanders, we're naturally strong. So lifting and doing all that stuff is easy. It's the eating side, because we love food. So instead of like, just stop eating, it's just try and change how you eat. That's all. It's just like little things. And cardio too. People think you have to run. No, I have never ran on a treadmill ever. All I tell people is, all you got to do is just, like, you lose more weight lifting. I stand by that 100%. Like, you sweat way more. But if you're gonna do cardio, like, all I do is treadmill. I just put on the highest incline, on the 4 speed, put on my Marvel or whatever movie I'm gonna watch, and you just do it for like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, and you're drenched. see people next to you, they're doing it for like 10 minutes, sprinting, and they're like puffed, but you're losing more calories just walking, and they just lose like 100 calories. Like I did like a whole hour, I was losing like 600 calories just chilling, just walking, watching a movie, laughing. And there's guys next to me trying to sprint, puffed out, and they only lost like 200 calories. It's just doing things in a way where it's going to last long term. It's like doing short-term goals, like setting yourself as like, okay, sweet. See how much you weigh now. See how much you weigh the next week. Okay, sweet. I lost 2 kilograms or 2 kgs. Okay, sweet. Let me just try and do the same thing. Or if it's like 0.6, that's still, you still lost something. It's just doing little steps at a time. A lot of people do like when I first started, I was like, yeah, I'm getting 6-pack abs. I'm getting it in 6 months. First month, I was like, yeah, I can't get 6 abs. I can't get a 6-pack. So, okay, sweet. Just aim for a flat stomach. Or like aim for the first 2. It's just doing little steps that's actually achievable, but you still got to put in the work, but you know you can actually do it. Just those little things. Yeah. Because all my family, they always say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then next week, they've stopped.
You know when you talk about like how you're doing the incline walking and the other guys doing the sprinting, you're losing more for less time. No, more time, but less time for these guys.
Yeah. So I'm on there longer than them.
Yeah.
But
you're losing more.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get puffed up.
Yeah.
And they'll just quit
100%.
because they can't do anymore.
You'll be surprised at how many calories. Like people do the Stairmaster. There's a reason why the Stairmaster goes up, not straight. It's like when you're doing an incline, you're already losing calories, but you lose more lifting. But if you're going to do with the cardio, I just do it like a slight incline.
With those different levels of losing calories, where do you put boxing training?
Oh, high. If I'm going to do cardio, I'd rather do boxing. You lose so much weight. Like
there's a science to like the incline walking. I think if your resting heart rate's like 85 beats per minute, if you're working at 115, we start to feel like, okay, you might get a sweat. If you add another 10 on top of that number, if you're walking at an incline at 135 beats per minute, means you're already burning fat.
Yeah,
your heart's already working, so there's a lot more blood flowing.
100%.
Because if your resting heart rate was like, say, 65, you'd probably have to go a lot higher, like a higher, more intense.
Yeah, like if you had a 100 meter track, and if someone's like the same distance from someone going uphill and someone going straight. If they're walking the same speed, the same distance, someone going uphill is going to be way more tired than someone just walking straight. And I was just like, yeah, if I'm going to do that, then I'd rather enjoy it. Like if I'm going to do this every single week, I'd rather watch a series. Like I watched, what series? I was like Queen of the South on Netflix. And it's like a cartel series. Yeah. I put that on the treadmill. I just walk. Even if my hands, bro, people say don't put your hands. I don't care. I'm putting my hands on the thing. I'm like holding the bars.
What's up with the hands? Why did they say that?
Oh, people say like when you're holding yourself, you're sort of like it's not your whole body full weight walking. But if I'm tired, I'm just gonna hold it.
Still walking.
Yeah, and you're still doing the distance. Yeah. But my biggest thing is lifting. Yeah, so I love powerlifting. So if people want to lose weight, just do lifting. But if you want to do the cardio, just do it in a way where it's gonna help you long term. Like not just like, oh, I'm just gonna sprint. Like I tried that. I tried sprinting. Bro, I was like, only like 2 days. And I was like, nah, I'm never doing treadmill again. So it's just like little steps.
I'm doing these classes at Westside Fitness.
Oh yeah.
And like, I went to 2 classes in a row one time, and it was the primal class. So it was your own body weight.
Oh yeah.
Man, it was only half an hour. But fuck, I got wasted at the end there. I'm just fucked. Yeah. And then I did the boxing class right after. And man, I was fucked just boxing. Like I wasn't boxing. Like I wasn't throwing my punches. Right. Like if I would just go to that class.
Yeah, but even that, you're losing so much weight. Like instead of someone running, just hit a boxing bag. Do that for 30 minutes. Different combos, like do a burpee or push up body weight. Like what you're saying, body weight, doing body weight push-ups, all that stuff. You lose so much more than just going for a sprint. And it's way more entertaining too.
The saying that comes to mind, like hearing you talk about all of that, like you said, make the small changes and gradually, like, get more disciplined at doing that. It's like, yeah, it's part of the journey, eh? And just like how you saying, like you're going to Westside Fitness now, it's like you got to learn to love it.
Yeah, 100%.
You hate it at the start,
Yeah.
but if the mentality is, bro, you're gonna learn to eventually love it. Now you love the way you
yeah,
feel,
yeah.
the way you look,
Yeah.
and it's like your addiction is now the gym, which is like, give yourself another month, bro.
But
But
yeah,
just
just
we walk
also-
around
yeah.
as boxing shorts and boxing singlets and
Because
stuff.
me, I'm never a gym guy. I hate gym. I
Yeah.
hate going to the gym. Like I hate the whole going to the gym and do all that stuff. So this is the first time I'm going
Yeah.
ever. Like I've been in gym before, but
Yeah.
not like recently. I'm talking about 20 years ago,
Mm.
and now I'm going back to do these classes. But
Yeah.
I find it's good because it's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people there
That's the
rather
thing, yeah.
than just. Like, I think if you go to the gym by yourself, I'm not in that mentality where I stick to it.
Yeah.
If I go to the gym by myself, I'll just give up.
Yeah,
If it gets too
100%.
hard, then just
Yeah.
walk out. But at least with these classes, at least you have to finish it.
Yeah, and people motivating
And
you.
people motivate. Yeah.
The key is
100%,
the support
yeah.
system, eh?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Because if he, like my cousin, he hates working by himself. Like he's the same as you. He's like he'll just won't want to do it. But if you work with other people, they just push each other. And if you're saying like you don't really, never used to really like the boxing, if you just find one person they can get along with, you guys push each other. Exactly. You just need one person to push yourself. But now I'm a person where like I'll take that like working with someone, but I love working by myself too, just because I have a vision, I have a drive, and I have a purpose kind of thing. I know this is what I want to do. That's how I can work by myself. But so many people, they need a partner. I was like, bro, just train with someone. Just ask one of the boys. If you meet someone at the boxing, just push each other. That pushes you. Because like, there's a quote that my dad said is that I live by. It's better to maintain than to start again. So if you're gonna continuously stop and then do whatever and then come back, it's so much harder than to just be able to just put in the same work constantly every single day.
I believe that. Because I remember, about 5-6 years ago, it was 1 year that I really got serious in losing weight. And actually, for the whole year, every lunchtime at work, I'll just go for a run around the block.
Really?
And not even eat. I just eat breakfast and dinner and that's it. One, I saved a lot of money
Yeah.
because they have to buy lunch.
Yeah.
And two, it took me a whole year to lose, I think it was about 25 kg. Damn. Yeah, it took me a whole year. And because my goal was to get down to double digits.
Yeah.
And I got down to 101.
Damn.
And I was like, yeah, 2 more to go. But then I gave up for some reason, I can't remember.
Right.
And then I'm back up
Yeah.
to where I'm at now. So,
Right.
yeah, but I remember thinking, man, it can be done. But you're right.
Yeah.
When you stop, it's hard to get back into it.
100%. Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard to get back into the same routine. Like, bro, I've been the same. I've been like up and down, up and down. Like there's sometimes where I train, and then I'm just like, and I was like, no, I don't want to train anymore. I just love eating all that, and then I just drop back down. My weight goes up again, and I was like, okay, sweet. I get that passion again, but now I'm just at a point where I'm just like, now I don't want to get back to where I was. Now let me just try and maintain.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's just going up and down.
Just hearing that, it was just making me want to start.
Yeah.
Especially do something like boxing, man. Like, you know, because like like you're saying, like it's being comfortable way. But like, I remember when we went to Raro and I wasn't really a confident swimmer, so I'd go to these morning classes and swim. It was like fitness in the water. So I did these classes knowing that I couldn't swim. I had the belt on, but eventually towards the end of probably like 8 weeks, I could swim. So I was in the water, no belt. And the reason why I did it is because I didn't want to go on this trip. It was in the islands where the kids would have to go swim, and then I didn't want to be that dad standing on the beach. My son,
Can someone
swim? But I'd rather be the guy fucking running than
Yeah.
you know who gives like just going to swim. You
Yeah.
know? But yeah, you need that sort of goal setting in your mind, eh?
Yeah.
Like the purpose.
Yeah,
The purpose,
exactly,
like
yeah.
you're going in to make your back look like Arnold's. Go in there and get it.
If
eh?
that's your goal, then
Yeah.
do little things to get to it.
What are some of the obstacles? One is people around you, like people that say you can't do it, or people that look down on you. But then there's answers like don't really listen to these people. Don't start hanging out with these people. Just hang out with the people that that will
They'll
help
sort of
you.
be there to help you. Yeah.
help you
Surround
keep
yourself
going.
with like-minded people.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
The same
that kind of stuff.
same mind frame.
How do you get over these sort of things, or you're just so concentrated on what your goals that you just ignore it? It's just blocked out of your mind.
No, I think for me it was just having the right mindset. Oh, not right mindset, right support system. Having those people, and then it's not even just family, even like your friends, people who actually know you, to actually support you. To be like, if you're having a bad day, it's like, oh gee, I'm having a shit day. You keen to work out together, or you keen to train together today, or even like having my partner. I tell her so many times, like, I had the worst day, and just having that person to be able to like push you, or just even someone just to listen, just to be there, and just having someone there just like nodding, or just be like just absorbing all the stress I'm going through. That helps, having the support, because no one can do it by themselves. Like, if people think Arnold did it by himself, no.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had so many, like, he had training partners, he had his family, he had so many other people. But all you see is Arnold. People think, oh, yeah, I can do it by myself. Like, nobody can do it by themselves. It's like, just try and do it by yourself for a month and see how far you get. And then try and do it with other people. But so much better. And it's just having, like, you don't have to have heaps. Like, it doesn't always have to be family. Like, sometimes family can be the negative people. And I'm a firm believer of, like, family, blood doesn't mean your family. Like, if my friends or my boys that I've known each other since we were little, if they're closer to me than my cousins, they're 100% my brothers. And if they're going to be more of a support system than those other people, then I just put them aside. Because I'm just at a point where I'm just all about happiness. And if you're not here to help me, and I'm not here, we're not like helping each other, then I'm just not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to be around to get that negativity kind of thing. They're always going to be there, and no disrespect to my family or anyone, but if I'm not around you, or if I don't want to be around you, it's just because I know my happiness and I know my worth, kind of thing. I think there's a saying that Letty said is like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And I want to be at a point where if other people, my family, if Letty sees me out with my boys and you see them, I was like, oh, okay, sweet, you're with good people. So yeah.
The negativity is always going to be there, no matter 100%. What, to anybody, or no matter what they do. Anybody, everybody in the world. Like, people we know, there's always going to be negativity around everybody. Just how you handle it, how you get through it.
But because I know that, so I went through it real bad, like in the lockdown, and like he's walking proof of how he's turned all of that negative energy and everything he was feeling at the time into something so positive, that it's so positive that he can share his story across from us. And just hearing it back, it's powerful, because in so many ways you pulled yourself out of the hole. On top of that, you've built yourself a stable foundation that it doesn't even look like you go backwards. Like, you couldn't see it because you're so happy. And there's nothing around you to sort of hold you back from trying to be happy, Like, I always say that, man. Like, if you surround yourself with the apes, fuck, you'll be swinging from the trees with the monkeys. But if you're fine dining with a good ring of boys, everyone's doing it. There's no one left behind. Exactly. People that don't fit in the space, they don't belong there. They're not supposed to be there. But you put enough baboons in your setting, fuck, you're gonna turn into one of the apes. You just go nuts, man. Yeah. But now you're right, bro. Like, you surround yourself with like-minded people, get yourself to that place you want to be. Exactly. In the happy space. And then see how far you get. And your couple before, bro. Yeah, 100%. I know that much. Yeah.
So when did you start thinking about doing that for serious competition?
I think it was last year. It was like mid last year. It was just like, I want to do powerlifting, but I was never, like, competing was never the thing. It was like, I didn't need to compete to be a powerlifter. I was like, I'm doing what I love, doing what I'm passionate about. But I think it was once I started hitting numbers that I was like, oh, I might have a chance to be able to compete. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. And then I was like, I think there was one guy at the gym, his name's Daryl. He always comes up to me, I was like, bro, you gotta compete. like every single time, like I'm on the cardio, and like, bro, you gotta compete. When are you competing? I was like, bro, I'm not even competing, bro. What are you talking about?
But you're pressing big numbers there. Like I remember when you said you had the app and you got the coaching, the what you should be working on.
Yeah.
Because I remember I tried to give you some tips just about the bench. But I remember when you said your figure out loud when my mate was in the shop, and he goes, "What the fuck?" Like, you know, and you said, "Oh, warm up. That's warm up."
Yeah.
Like for someone lifting, and mummy's been at the gym for a while now. So like impressive numbers don't lie. Eh? Like if you're hitting or you're lifting that much, fuck.
Right.
That's like a natural talent. Imagine if you get a sponsor.
Is it a thing when weightlifters don't talk about their weight they can lift?
Oh, people can like.
Americans do it all the time.
Yeah, a lot
eh?
of people say, "Oh, how much you bench?"
Oh yeah, that's American. Oh, Americans, yeah. That was,
Oh, let me show you.
Come like that.
Yeah,
All the time.
2 people.
that's what I love Americans, man. Because they're straight up with anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm open, but my missus hates it. She's like,
But some people aren't they?
yeah,
some,
a lot
some
of people just, oh no. How much you lift? Oh no.
The last time I was fully like engaged in gym, because I know someone showed me the app and they said whatever you can flat bench, this would be your max incline. And I remember I get to the gym, this guy used to pack the same amount of weights on, but he was like 6'3", fucking big South African guy, small legs. And like, cause I always be a rugby shorts when I get to the gym. So this guy would always look across from me, you know, he's on the Smith and I'm on the freeway. And one day I asked my mate, fuck, can you incline? Can you give me the max incline I can do if my flat bench is like, say, 180?
Yeah.
Then he told me, oh, bro, you could probably do 230 or like if you wanted to. So just an example, I was like I had like 160 on the incline. And the guy across from me had 160.
Oh yeah.
But I did like 2 sets of 12 on the incline. And he was only doing like 5. So like flat bench is like, you got to be way stronger.
Yeah.
Like, just like your decline would be way stronger, you know. But to do an incline,
Yeah, that's
it wasn't until I did my second one and the guy came right. He went, "Oh, so you'll be standing across from me for like 7 weeks, 7 weeks, and you never said a thing until you saw that."
Until you saw that, yeah.
But yeah, it's like show ponying in the gyms, really.
But a lot of people think you're being arrogant or cocky when you talk about your numbers. It's like, no, I'm just trying to, like, I know where I've been, how much I used to lift. I was like, no, I'm just trying to say like how much I've lifted, what I like, all the work I put in to get to where I am now. But a lot of people take it in a way it's like, I don't know if it's like that tall poppy syndrome. I remember like what's his name? Adesanya was talking about it.
Yeah.
The tall poppy syndrome. I'm
real.
just like, yeah, even at the gym it's like, bro, why are you trying to put me down? I'm just trying to do my lifting, I'm just trying to do something that I love. Why are you trying to shit on what I do, bro? Like, what are your numbers now?
I was just like, because I remember, are you a fan of NFL? Because the Super Bowl just finished and
and the Chiefs won. Hey,
Chiefs won. Yeah. They beat Eagles and Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for Eagles.
Yeah.
So he came on SportsCenter and everyone was buzzing out his squat.
Yeah.
Was 600 pounds.
Damn.
And that's
like 272.
fuck all, eh?
Yeah, 272.
272. Yeah.
That's like,
kilograms.
What was that? One off? Is it one
One
rep?
rep.
That's fucking nothing, bro. I went to school with guys that could do the 180 times 10 reps, and then the same guys, like the guy I went to school with, Vasa, fucking, he was just in the gym doing like 260 like times 5. I'm like, the man tried to do like a lunge one. I was like,
what is happening?
bro, but that's just natural, eh? Natural, like Polynesians, bro, just natural lifters, man.
Yeah, Polly's crazy.
Especially when you're short, eh?
Yeah, so much harder when you're taller. Yeah.
So when you started doing the competition, how did you start that? Like, did you have to go?
So I haven't
with-
actually started.
Oh.
Yeah, so so this year I'm all about trying to find a coach. So all I've been doing is just, there's a famous powerlifter, he's in America, and he posts different programs, which is like you just download an Excel sheet, put in your personal best, and it generates the whole program for 12 weeks. So that's what I've been doing constantly for like the past 2 years. But this year I'm trying to get a coach. And the same Daryl guy that I was telling you about the gym, he came up to me, he said, I wanna help you. I actually want to help you. So if you find a coach and find a actual proper person, find out the price and I'll pay for you. I was like, not yet. And I was like, are you sure? And every single time he sees me, he's like, have you found a coach yet? I was like, oh, no, not yet. But so
where do you find the coaches?
I sort of just look up powerlifting NZ. I found one in Parnell, which is NZ Powerlifting Academy, and they got some heavy lifters. Makes my lifters like, oh, so, okay, let me just try again later. Yeah, so I found it because there's like some heavy lifters that's good there, like guys and girls. So I'm just like, oh, let me just work on myself first. But I'm just gonna continuously tell myself that. So this year I'm trying to get a coach, and hopefully mid to end this year, compete. If not this year, then definitely next year. But competing is what I want to do, yeah, and see how far that takes me.
Oh, sharp, man.
Yeah,
Looking forward to coming to watch.
yeah, 100%.
Because that's a big sport, in New Zealand, eh?
Yeah,
I remember we used to come on TV, man. They'd have a segment of it, like with the lifters.
yeah. But I think a lot of people focus more on weightlifting. Like, yeah, the clean and jerk, because that's like an Olympic sport. But I think now powerlifting is just starting to increase hard. Yeah. Even like overseas in America, so many people are like posting about powerlifting, all their competitions. So yeah.
Would you look at trying to become a strongman?
I don't know, because there's one of my close mates from high school. His name is Montel. He competed for New Zealand for weightlifting, but now he's doing strongman. I just feel like you have to get bigger to like actually gain more weight to have a chance of competing.
Yeah.
So I sort of want to see how far powerlifting goes, but if I get the opportunity to do strongman, then I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
But I ain't trying. I don't want to get back and like fat again.
You get big like Ave again.
Because there's like Eddie Hall, like those guys, like the what do you call it, Brian. They're all these American guys. They're huge, and they're like the most famous. Like Eddie Hall is the first person to lift 500 kgs deadlift. I'm just like,
Damn.
but he's huge. He was like 170.
Is that the record?
Yeah. Oh, the record's 501.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
501. But there's a powerlifter who did sumo deadlift and deadlifted 502. Yeah.
Shit.
But they don't say.
Was it with a proper bar or
No.
with the truck
Oh,
tires?
no, proper bar, proper plates, but and no suit, which is what the strongman did. And it was just like raw, but he used straps as well. Yeah, but lifting that, but people talk so much smack about sumo deadlift compared to conventional deadlift. But yeah, that's like the record for deadlift.
Yeah.
But squats is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Bench is my worst. I've been trying to do what Letty's been teaching me. I was like, bro, this shit is hard.
Come, bro, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Even so, I was doing good, eh? Powerlifting, there. They've been.
Oh, the weightlifting. They competed. I think one of the guys he won for his weight category for Samoa. I was like, bro, I think he did like 200 kg snatch or power clean.
Have you tried doing any of those lifts?
I tried, but I'm not flexible. So like how my body is now, I'm flexible for what I can lift, but to be that flexible, I can't. Like I can't put my elbow past my shoulder, and then this one I can't even lift any higher. So like how I stretch, how I train, I think my body's formed to a position, to a way like I'm flexible enough to do my lifts. Like squat, deads and bench, I can get into the position properly. All my technique is good.
Would you jump back in the water?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So growing up,
Longevity of the sport,
yeah.
in the water.
So growing up, I never played rugby, never played league. My three main sports was basketball, water polo, and softball. I love swimming.
How'd you get into water polo?
I just used to love swimming. I used to get so black, being at the beach or at the pools with my family. And it wasn't until high school. It was high school. We did this thing where we had athletics day, but the week after it was like swimming sports. The whole day, you get a sheet of paper and there's different meets you can do, whether it's like freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. So I was like, oh, okay, so let me just try one. I was always, mind you, I never competed because I was always embarrassed of how I looked. Like even now, I've always worn a singlet underneath a t-shirt. Even now, I'm wearing a singlet right now. I was like, I think I'm just used to always wearing a singlet, but I never used to like looking without a t-shirt. And at high school, for the swimming sports, you get the whole day off from school. So I was like, oh, I don't want to go to school. So I was like, oh, no, let me do it. And then so I was like, okay, sweet, I'll just wear a singlet. And they said, now you got to take it off. So everyone used to tease me. So I was like, okay, so all good. I competed in the freestyle and butterfly, and then bit everyone in my meets. And then, but it was only until I got to like the finals, and then all the ballings were just let it go. Yeah, but that's why I started. And then it was like one of the swimming coaches. They said, "Oh, have you heard of water polo?" I was like, "Nah, what's that?" They were like, "Oh, just come down, have a train." I was like, "Okay, sweet." Went there, trained, and then I ended up doing it for like 2-3 years.
Oh yeah.
At high school.
Can you imagine that?
And I was like I was the only Islander.
You can swim, stay afloat, but it has a softball arm. Fuck, so if that hit you in the head.
Yeah,
man.
so I did softball from like T-ball stages. So you started T-ball. I did that all the way up to, I think, year 9, year 10. And then did softball, and then I stopped that, pursued basketball, and then started doing water polo. So I still had a strong arm.
Yeah.
But I was the only Islander. And then when we had our competitions, you had to wear Speedos. Hell no, you ain't seen me in those Speedos.
So, dude, you have a 5XL.
I was like, you don't have a Speedo big enough for me. I was like, so I wore shorts, and then I was like, everyone would jump in, like dive in and do their laps. I'll jump in, pop a manu, let me do some bombs in the water, where everyone was watching, and then everyone would laugh. Because they're like, bro, you got an Islander? You got that?
Oh yeah,
that
hell yeah. You're the first Islander I know now that played water polo.
Yeah, I think there's a couple more now, but when I was doing it, they were like, right, are you guys that desperate? You need numbers so you get an Islander? And once I started swimming, bro, it's a hard sport. Because water polo, you can't touch the ground.
Yeah, there's no bottom, mate, because you're in the deep.
Yeah, so you have to do this thing where it's called an egg beater. So your legs rotate and like anti-clockwise. Your other leg rotates clockwise, and then you just do that constantly. If we do it fast enough and hard enough, you can actually lift yourself out of the water.
Oh yeah.
So I got to the point where I was like, the water was up to my neck. I was able to get it like just above my waist out of the water, doing that. But it's so aggressive. So they have 2 refs, but if the refs don't look at you, you can do whatever you want to your opponent. So like you push. So there was a guy, but he kicked off my stomach. I was like, bro, I'm that big. He threw me like a wall. So I grabbed him and yanked him. The ref looked, I just let go. And then, bro, that's so aggressive. But every time they needed a goal, they give me the ball, float up, and I just shoot and just go straight in the goal.
Your dad must have been so proud, man. I remember when you talk about your games there, he'd be like, in the barbershop city that everyone talks about, oh yeah, my son's doing this now, he's pretty good, he's starting this week. And this guy, oh yeah, my son just scored like against King's College, just throwing the ball. Like they got to the point people were like just moving and swimming out of the way because they don't get hit by the ball.
I used to ask them too, I was like, are you embarrassed because I play water polo? He said, no. Because he's hard rugby league. So he always used to ask me, you want to play? Nah, I'm alright.
It's funny, you ask Islanders to come to the water, right? And you do water sports, bro.
Yeah,
like,
nah.
That was my plug when I started doing those classes. I knew there was a certain fitness. Yeah. And if you were good at running, lifting, you were going to suffer in the pool.
Yeah,
because every person I invited down, man, not even through the warm-up, they're already holding onto the side of the pool. And like the instructor's screaming, what are you girls doing, man? Sergeant Slaughter to all the guys holding onto the wall.
Because I didn't look like it, but I could do laps. I love I love swimming. With a whatever stroke. My favorite was butterfly. That's when over. I can't do that now, but freestyle and butterfly. I'd love that.
You know you can't put your elbows up. Yeah. Is that an injury?
Oh, this one is an injury, but this one is just not being flexible enough. Because how I stretch, I just stretch it for whatever lift I'm trying to do. So say if I'm doing bench, I'd want my tricep, my shoulder, and my back, and that's all I do. I wouldn't do I need to get bands to actually do the proper stretching. But yeah, but my body's just not that flexible. Yeah, but for squats, I can do a deep squat. For bench, I can have that arch in my back. But when it comes to overhead press, the wide grip, I can't do that. Yeah.
I'm amazed you did water polo because, man, when I grew up, there's only things you can actually do because of your peers, you know? And if you did something else, you'll be outcast.
Oh, mind you, I got mocked all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you try to avoid being mocked.
Yeah.
So you do anything you can at school to avoid being mocked.
It was once I started beating the balangis at the swimming spots. That's when they're like, oh, bro, that's cool. That's cool. Because I look how I look, the colors of who I am, and I'm just smoking all these Asians, these white guys. Even the teachers, they're like, the commentator, he was like, oh, look at Josiah. Look at him trying to get in the pool. And then after I won, he was like, never mind, guys. He's an actual competitor. So I'm just like, I like proving people wrong. And when people see if I success at it, they're like, oh, okay. This is actually legit.
See, you jumping into water polo reminds me of maybe Serena Williams and that playing tennis, or Tiger Woods playing golf.
Yeah, just like doing totally different.
Because I remember those jokes like, yeah, black people, they go in any sport, they'll dominate. Go take any white sport, they'll dominate.
Yeah.
So Islanders take any white sport, dominate. Cricket.
Straight up, hey.
Because I did rugby. Bro, I hated getting hurt. I was like, I just got angry. Like, I'm just going to punch you in the face. It's like, don't tackle me, bro. And then I just like doing other sports. Like I even did wakaama, the rowing. I did dragon boating, and then the year I competed, we won it for our whole school. And then we even bet like the actual wakaama classes. I did that. I did volleyball. I did soccer for a couple seasons as well. Just everything except for rugby.
See, you know, when I was at school, Islander played soccer. Nah, that's a no.
Yeah, 100.
Sissy sport, you know.
You can't use your hands?
Balangi sport, man. Sissies play that. So you cannot play soccer, okay?
Yeah.
And if you love it and you still try to play, nah, you won't, because you don't want to be mocked
You're
by your peers. That's what I mean, man. Like, I don't know if it's part of the whole tall poppy syndrome, or just
I reckon
or just a stereotype, or
Yeah, it is a tall poppy syndrome, man. Because when I was at school, the guys that played those sports, like the water sports, and played soccer, they were fit. Like the rugby guys were fit.
Yeah.
Like when it came to lifting, running, like you know, more than one thing in like an exercise. And when it came to the running and the swimming lengths, bro, the rugby guys were we were the ones holding the side of the pool. But the soccer guys, bro, just going for
back
days.
and forth. Yeah.
Like the warm up for like a PE class in the pool. It was like you got to swim 3Ks, and then the class started. You know.
you look how fit you have to be to play soccer. You see any fat
Yeah,
soccer
but they
players?
never stopped it.
Have you ever seen? Any?
No. No, you
Maybe
know
the
what you
goalie,
know,
but
This guy's just never.
bro, that all fit shredded. Just like, oh man.
Because you're running for 45 minutes each half.
Yeah.
Man. The only thing I don't like about soccer is like the 1-2 scores.
Yeah.
1-0, 2-0.
Like a whole game is only like 3-0. Like the goal's that big.
Yeah, you know how they have like for cricket they have different versions of it, like T20 is like the faster version, so it's more exciting. They should do something like that for soccer. Like take away the goalie.
Nah, you know what would be way more exciting?
Long kicks.
What would be way more exciting is if they had to wear a sleeveless jacket and to run like that. You know, that would make the game way more interesting. Oh.
Yeah, but adding those little things, that was so much better.
Yeah.
Like a whole game and there was like 3 points.
Yeah, so 15 minutes each way, that'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, now I know why the crowd gets all crazy when they score a goal.
Because finally.
That's right.
Like, God damn.
I've been here for 50 minutes, no goal. This is the first goal I'm celebrating, man.
Man, I couldn't watch a whole game.
Nah, bro, not soccer. Especially when they do the extra time, when someone told me about, oh, bro, do you know there's penalty time? What do you mean? Even though it's 80 minutes on the screen, they're going to go for however many stops. They add it up. I was like, oh, gosh,
Anytime I watch a whole soccer game is the World Cup. That's the only time. I can't watch any other Premiership or any.
Bro, but the people in UK, they love soccer.
That's life, bro.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not soccer, it's football. It's like,
it's life for me.
Because I had a guy, he used to work with us. He was Brazilian, and he loved soccer. But every time I see soccer, it looked like he wanted to sit me out. I was like, it's football. Gosh, bro. Just relax, man.
Oh, Brazil's crazy about soccer.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good too, man.
Yeah.
I love Brazil when they play in the World Cup. That's the only team I support.
Bye.
Yeah. So look for a coach this year. This year just started, so you got plenty of time to train up to that point.
So beginning of this year, I hit my new PB, so now I'm just like generating a whole new program. So now I'm on the first week of my program, 12 weeks, and then so just continue that. But I think now I'm going to try and look for a coach. Because I think like the program or like my knowledge can only go so far. And so if I'm trying to actually pursue this properly, I'd rather do what I need to do to actually get to it instead of being like, nah, I'm strong enough. But really go to a powerlifting gym and you're just starting, buddy. So I'd rather like start now, get a coach, and then actually just like, work on this, work on this. Because I want to pursue this. I want to see how this actually how far this actually can go.
Yeah.
And then use my platform to just be able to just help people. Like even just like my cousin, I'm like his coach, but because we work together, I try and like push him, and just being able to just help people like with the one step, even if it's just eating, helping someone just change their mentality to be like, oh, I have to go on a diet. It's not just change little things, just having an impact. That's what I want to do.
So you mentioned you're a content creator now. You have your social media. What's that? How does that look? What was that? What's your idea around that?
I'm just trying to like, at the moment I haven't posted anything. I just want to be able to like, I just create videos and just post them up. Like I've only got Facebook and then YouTube, but I want to get into like having like a lifting page to be able to just like start showing my progress. Not those cocky ones like, oh, this is how much I can lift, but just on a daily basis. This is what I do. This is what I eat. All that kind of stuff. Just if I can just, like what I said, like if I can just impact something or someone with whatever I like with what I love, I'm a happy man. Yeah.
There's one guy I've been watching on YouTube. Who's Gang? Have you seen him?
Oh yeah.
Like he's doing his
comedian, me.
100-week weight loss.
Oh hey.
Yeah.
Man. But just like even like that, just like posting your journey, posting that. That's what I want to be able to do.
So he got an award, eh? He got the YouTube.
Yeah,
how many subscribers is that?
I think 10K or
10K,
100K, whatever it is. I haven't checked, but you get an award for that for the numbers. But I don't know if you follow that guy, but he's funny, man. His skits on Instagram and that. Yeah. Crack up, man. But he's like obese. But he's quite young. Yeah. I think he's like 22, 23. But he's like obese ass. So he's going through this journey where he wants to lose all his weight in 100 weeks. So he's posting these videos every week. I think he's on to week 9. Week 9 just gone. Week 10's the next week. But just shows his journey, his trainings. And all these gyms are helping him because he's popular on YouTube. Yeah. Like all these gyms are inviting him to come and so and he advertises their gym as well and their trainer and that. Yeah, it's quite inspirational, eh? Yeah,
because that's what I want to do. I just want to if I can just inspire someone and then get funding for it and like get paid for it, like get a sponsorship. Like I'm sort of like a sponsor. I'm sponsored by Gym Jockey, so but it's the business I work for. But I get 10% off of like whoever uses my discount code. I get like all the gears as long as I post it. Like I have like a powerlifting belt, knee sleeves, wrist wraps, all for free, just from my company, and just being able to like a lot of people at the gym, they're like, oh, where'd you get that belt from? Well, if you use my discount code, you get 10% off. But it's just having that, just posting that kind of stuff. Yeah, on a daily basis. Because a lot of people were like, we just look at YouTube. It was like, oh, must be nice. It must be nice posting content, getting paid for. I was like, bro, anyone can do it. Yeah. That's just that consistency and doing it, having a passion for it. Because a lot of people, they think, because nowadays everyone's trying to make content. But if you're not doing it for the right reasons, it's not going to work. So I'm not really here for the money. If I can just use, if my video can impact someone, one person, that's all it is. And then if I get funding, that's just like that's just a bonus. Yeah.
So you know how when you talked about being happy, and now you are in the place, like, what would your week look like in terms of like your happiness versus working the job, or is the whole thing the same now? Like, you know how if you were still an architect working as an architect firm, you'd probably be unhappy for 9 to 5 and then happy after hours doing your thing. But
not
is
really.
Is it the same now?
The whole thing. It will just be like, because after work, because I'm a morning person, so I'll usually train in the morning. But when it came to when I was working at the architect firm and with uni, because mind you, when I was at that place, I also had uni. So if I was still doing uni, I'll still be doing that half-time, still doing that part-time. I'll still be like, even though that 9 to 5 will finish, I'll still have like, I was like, oh, now I have my assignment. now I have to go home and do my classes, or I have my Zoom class, or I have to go to school. I'm always on that. It's always that chore kind of feeling. Yeah.
But now your 9 to 5 not a chore anymore.
Nah, now I love it. Even though like the people I work for or work with, some of the people like sort of piss me off.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, everyone's gonna be like that. I sort of change. It's also a mentality thing too, and that chore idea has just left. Like it's not, like everything I do has never been a chore now.
Because there's nothing you take home.
Nah.
From work.
And everywhere I go, I'm 100% in. Like here, this is all I'm thinking about.
Right.
Like my mind's not focusing on like, oh, I got another assignment. I have to make a model. I have to like do a 3D print of a different like project or whatever. I'm like here. But even if like that's the thing, even if I didn't have any classes, it was like, oh, my grades are not good enough. What did I do then that made me get a shit grade? That constant thinking about like, what if, or like, what do I have to come has always been there when I'm at uni. But now it's like I'm here, I'm on the podcast, I'm going to give my 100%, everything I do.
And mum and dad support you?
Now they do. Now they do. But I think once
How long did it take for them to come around? Like, did you have to work with them?
I think it's a journey.
Oh.
I think it wasn't like a specific time.
Did they see results?
Yeah, I think it was the result. I think it was the once they saw me smiling more, losing weight, more passionate about what I'm talking about, and spending more time with them. Because like when I'm at home, I'm just in my office or like my little like sketch room doing designs. Like they never see me, or if I see them, get my plate of food, back to the room. But now, like when I'm with them, have full-on conversations. I take them out. If we go dinner, we'll go dinner. If they want anything, like I'm 100% there. Like even when I'm with Letty, getting like even little things like getting a haircut, I'm there. I'm not focusing on like I got this to do after. When I'm at work, I'm just 100% there. So that's what I love now. Like even though like my money isn't like skyrocketing, I'm just happy.
Yeah, you're happy, I suppose. And
then,
it shows us.
And money's never been a priority. Even though like nowadays, like going through a recession this year, like money's always going to be at the back of my mind, but happiness is priority. I'm just so much happier now. Yeah.
Because when I think about that kind of stuff, because you know it's the basics. There's a roof over your head, it's food in your mouth.
Exactly.
And your family's fine. You can't get basic than that. And what you got to do to get that doesn't have to be much. You know, like everything else is extra.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's trying to get. And if your happiness, if you have to sacrifice big money for your happiness, then maybe that's what you have to think about, and then work on your happiness, work on what you're doing now to build it up again.
Yeah.
Because it's all about starting from scratch again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you started uni and did all that,
yeah.
and now you don't want to do it. Yeah. So then you're gonna start on step one again,
yeah.
and that's the hardest part for people to get around.
Yeah.
Like people don't go back because they don't. Oh, fuck, I don't do that. I don't want to go back to square one.
Yeah. And it's the same reason like what my parents used to say is like you've come so far, and I'm just like, and it's like I can do this. I have more to life than just doing this. I think a lot, like we were saying, people do something so much to a point where like starting again is a fear.
Yeah.
But I just turned it around to like, it's like, man, this is like another opportunity.
Do you think these days it's easier now to start back on square one, or is it just your mentality?
I think it still has its ups and downs. I wouldn't call it easy, but I think it is more avenues and more things opportunities that's there to sort of make it easier for other people. If they don't want to do this, they can do something else. Yeah. But I think back then it wasn't that easier. Yeah.
I think simply, like just from seeing you, because we catch up every week, is how you prioritize little. It's sort of like God, your happiness, your state of mind, and family, and then being happy, like just actually feeling happy.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, they either get to the gym, work out, get real rip, but deep inside, it's like there's a sense of emptiness.
There's still a hole there.
Yeah, and there's something that nothing can fill. You know, the void that can't be filled. But like seeing you, like even hearing you talk on the pod today, it's like, this guy's in a good headspace. Yeah, it's like, and the haircuts every week. Even though, because I always talk about love with this guy. Like, this guy, where's the wedding? And I'm always throwing it at this guy. Like, where's the wedding? Like, you know. But man, the reaction I get out of this guy is always a laugh. It's always a laugh. Yeah. It's never been like, you know. The day I see that, then I'll go, oh, what's up, Wolves, you know?
Yeah.
But this guy, you know, he's very like, when we talk in the shop, that's just, that's just.
I can tell Letty anything.
But no, it's been awesome to watch you grow, bro. Especially from that little young kid that used to always just have a smile. And me not knowing back then, like, there was underlying, you know, hurt and, you know, my mind and all that. But just seeing you grow from it, bro. Shows, man, you're smashing glass roofs.
Yeah, I've been so unhappy for a long time that being genuinely happy, like the feeling's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like I'm on something, but I've just never been that happy for a long time. So now I am happy. I was like, nah, yeah.
Is time going faster now?
Much faster,
Yeah.
100%. Like everything I do, like, bro, like how long? I don't even know how long we've been doing the podcast. I was like, bro, it's only been like 5 minutes.
It's funny too, because when I did talk to him, I go, man, it'd be mean if you jumped on the pod, like the back of the 135. And he's like, oh yeah, man, I'll ring a sec. Nah, you better not. You better go to work.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Go to
okay.
work, hey. This one's, we chuck away the extra hours fee for your following week. Nah, I'll ring a sec. It's all good. Nah, go to work.
Bro, even like now, like coming here, I was so nervous and just chilling. I was like, bro, this is chill. I could do this all day.
Bro, honestly, have a spot if we open up another pod, but to have this guy on. If you empty out the cup of meals, we'll be crack up, boys.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's the way to go. Because I try to encourage people to come on the podcast and that just to talk. Doesn't matter what like people.
Whatever it is.
The thing is, like the first reactions I get, man, I got nothing to talk about. My life's boring. I'm like, bro, it's not about, man, life's boring. Everyone's got different lives, man. Just have a chat.
Yeah.
And see where it goes.
Just chilling. Yeah.
Like I don't have a plan.
Yeah.
We'll just talk and see where that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see this as just another opportunity to just be able to just impact anyone. I think Letty was telling me before that there was a guy that he was trying to get on, and then didn't come, and then I'm just like, he misses out. It's like I'm not gonna miss out on this opportunity, even if it's just like one person. If I can even like just talk to you guys, if I can make you guys laugh, bro, I'm happy.
That was the gem he dropped to me that morning, because I've been chasing after that cop, and I said, man, he took off so many boxes. He's Tongan. He's one of the first PIs to move into his actual status in the police. And then I felt deflated, but then when he said that to me, bro, that's his missed opportunity. I'm like, damn, first something's gone wise, eh? I was like, oh, the Bible said they listen to advice now. Oh, nice. Shout-outs.
Sure, man. Like I'll be looking forward to your social media when it comes out.
100%. Yeah, I've already made like a lifting page on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
But now like they can do this thing where you can link Instagram and Facebook. So now I'm gonna add that and just start. This is like funny videos or like lifting pages.
Yeah.
Not those in the world. There's one guy.
Do you follow NBA?
A little bit. Like when it comes to sports, I watch it. I'm more UFC.
Oh, right.
I'm a more person. I'm a practical person, so I'd rather play it than watch it. I could watch a game and I was just like, oh, bro, this is boring, bro. Even though it's a mean game, my attention sort of just fades away. I think just because I'm sitting, I'm not really interacting. Yeah.
What team did you support? NBA team.
I wasn't really a team supporter. I was more of a player. Yeah, I used to love. I just like any different players, like or how they play. Like I like Steph, how he was shooting. I liked Kyrie Irving. I like Luka. I like how he plays. I like how he's really aggressive.
They're together now, Luka and Kyrie.
Kyrie.
It'll be interesting to see how they go together because they both need the ball.
Right. Yeah, 100%. They're all greedy. But even like watching LeBron when he beat the record.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Man, did you see how much they put the price up for the tickets? It was like 20 grand for the cheap ones, cheap seats.
Because they knew it was.
It was LeBron's gonna be. Fuck.
But I was like, one of his teammates didn't even stand up to cheer.
Oh yeah, Anthony Davis. Yeah.
Because I think they lost. I was like, bro, you're a hater, bro.
Yeah, that's ugly, yeah.
I was like, bro. What do you? I was like, bro, just stand up, bro.
But he's not going to be remembered for that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Not for all the plays, not for all the shots. It's like, nah, you were that guy who didn't stand up for LeBron.
Another black man who didn't stand up for
another black man. Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, I find that appalling that they lost that game. Like they should have won the game because that's LeBron's game to get the record.
And he got the record.
Yeah,
bro, that would be crazy.
Because
he gets the record and loses.
Because the winner of that night went to OKC because
Yeah.
they won. Yeah, you keep your record. We won the game,
Yeah.
motherfucker. I'll be like that, Eddie. Yeah, keep your record.
Yeah,
Fuck,
they
we-
should have won.
We beat your ass.
Yeah, but I think when they were playing, they're like, nah, just give LeBron the ball. Give LeBron the ball. It's like, it's not the game, bro.
They throws the whole mentality of winning out the window.
Yeah.
You're like, just make sure he gets his thing because all these people pay 20.
And then everyone came off the seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheering for me. I was like, bro, you guys just lost. He's like, we'll give you the record.
But, man, if I was OKC, I'll rub it in, man.
100%.
Playing
Yeah,
away, win the game.
Yeah.
LeBron's day. Fuck, I'll be like,
Yeah, it's only one person who won in your team.
true that. Sweet, bro. What's happening for you next couple of weeks?
Couple weeks, just busy with work, trying to still do training, see where the training goes, and then my birthday's next week.
Oh yeah, what you got planned?
Working on Wednesday because my birthday's on the 1st.
Engagement. I mean,
What are you talking about? And then probably just on the weekend, probably just go out with the boys. I think we're gonna go like, have you heard of the 8? The 8 restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna go there, the 8, and then probably go to like bottomless drinks.
Well, there's 2. There's another 8. Oh no, there's the 8 smorgasbord at.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, Lucky 8. Lucky 8.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, the one on
Possibly,
Possibly.
yeah.
Where everything's $8.
$8, yeah.
So I think we're going there. And then
You got a book to get in, I heard.
Yeah, I think my partner booked like 2 months ago.
oh, you know,
I was like, shuttles. And then I think we're going there, and then there's a place called Tallulah, and it's like cheap drinks, cheap like cocktail drinks. Yeah, just go there and then, but sensibly, Letty.
don't drink and drive up.
Letty's giving me the eyes.
Is it the vodka and soda? Is it?
Yeah, it's sparkling water.
Nah, shout out Josiah. Thanks for coming in. Thanks
No, that'd be
for
fun.
giving me some advice on training and eating, because I'll need it now that I've joined the gym.
Bro,
It's
need
been a
any
pleasure,
tips?
man.
And I can't wait for your social media thing to come out. I'll be joining that and
Yeah,
hopping on that, man. But nah,
appreciate it.
it's been good to hear your journey, and since we're both used to be in the same industry I was in, I'm in. I'm
I mean,
still
I
in
don't
it.
know. Yeah, I don't know what the future. Like I could, because like,
No. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a skill. Just because you finish doesn't mean you can pick it up later on in life.
yeah, exactly. Like,
I mean,
still
that's
have
your
to-
plan B, like,
Yeah.
or plan C or plan D.
Yeah,
Like, at least
exactly.
that you got something to fall back
Yeah.
on. And I think that's what people miss. Like, the whole story about those rugby players. They got nothing to fall back on.
Yeah,
Like, you see those rugby players that do finish uni or go
Yeah.
back to school after their career's over.
Mm.
Because you never know what's going to happen. You might get athletes will get injured,
yeah,
but if they got nothing to fall back on, then they're screwed.
yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So at least you got something to fall back
Yeah.
on. It might be way back, like Z or Q or plan Q,
Yeah,
but at least it's something,
yeah.
and you can't take that away.
Yeah.
you
I'm
know?
never gonna like say like, oh no, I'm never gonna do architecture, because like long term goal will be like owning my own powerlifting gym, and then how I design it. Well, I
Yeah.
can design it myself.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah. So just there's little things that I don't really tell people, but
One thing I
I
always
got- I
say
got
to
ideas.
everyone is I always say this to everyone, and even when they struggling, like trying to get over the line with their degrees and stuff, I always say to them, man, many years from now, just like this pod, when everything turns to dust, the one thing they will never be able to take away from this earth is your credentials and
Yeah.
your degree.
100%.
You know, that's something that you
Yeah.
ain't gained.
Yeah, that's what even mum and dad says too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, I know you're right, but
Get
that.
Sure, so
Yeah.
Sweet, Luz, thank you.
Thank you.